Hey, welcome back to Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's currently the 21st of July. I checked. I didn't know. I had to check. I'll be honest. Hopefully you're well, though. It's a Tuesday afternoon. It's been relatively still a busy week in Netrunner. It's weird how that is. If you don't know, on Friday we had a new ban list. A video dropped on Friday morning talking about it. Welcome to the 2608 ban list world. I do want to say off the top, I am really happy that your least favorite card got banned, but I'm sorry that your favorite card got banned. And I'm also equally confused how the card that should have been banned didn't, and the one that didn't get unbanned did. We'll talk about it more, I think, with like nuance and stuff. But yeah, anyways, that's happened. It hasn't stopped the megacities though. The megacities are still going. So this weekend was the EMEA Online megacities, and then there was a megacity in Texas. There's a megacity in France. There's a megacity in the UK, and then this weekend is the America's Online megacity, which I believe I will be either casting or streaming. I'm not 100% sure. And then there's probably a couple more in person. So yeah, it's obviously like it's still an interesting time for the 2605 ban list that we're in for the next weekend or so as megacities wrap up. But come August 1st is when this new set will be legal. Now, the new ban list, I mean, no, that's not going to stop us from trying out the new ban list and like talking about it, doing all that stuff. So we'll see what JNet looks like, because there's probably going to be like a healthy mix of people who are practicing for this weekend and then people who just want to play Reality Plus. Maybe it'll be somewhere in the middle. How's everyone doing? Hey, Brennan, it's Grid. How's it going? Also, hey, Safer. Congratulations on a ban list. Hey, Grid. Hey, Brennan. Happy to have Tuesday streams back. Welcome. How long before Blame Changer 3.0? I mean, it can't be that long. I'm pretty sure that some of the voices behind Blame Changer are pretty happy with the ban list. But we'll find out. I'm waiting for some like podcasts that really, cut in deep. Hey, Hexnet, how's it going? Why do they call Netrunner when you run the central server net? Let me try that again. Why do they call a Netrunner when you net run the central server net out agenda run the remote? Yeah. They unban R plus to punish runners for their bad behavior or something. I have no idea. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it'll be fun. I just want to play Vic. I'll be honest. I just want to play Vic. This is going to make Vic feel a bit better. Reality Plus is now unbanned. It's been banned for, I want to say a year. I think it was banned for all of 2025 and so far all of 2026. The design team put out this article that said like, hey, look, we did not design anything around this, so we don't know what's going to happen. Besides, it's fun. Fun in quotes, I think they said, and italics. So we'll figure out what that means. But for the future, like it's not unlikely that Reality Plus will get banned, because they did promise like we will not be designing cards around it being 2 credits cheaper whenever it gives a tag. And we're still pretty much on track for like, maybe at this point it's not the majority, but like if you look at System Gateway, the majority of cards gave a tag. Like all the ice gives you tags, so we'll figure out. Look, you with a stream time diversity. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Digital Reverie, how's it going? We have been now streaming Tuesday afternoons and Thursday evenings like we normally do. Tuesday afternoons is we're back to that, so it's been good. It's been good to stream at better times. I'm skipping work next Tuesday to play the 3 re-release of Halo, and I'll try to stop in and show you my purple decks called Safer is Wrong. When does new Halo come out? Is there a new Halo this week? Is the Halo campaign involved July 28th? Wow, okay, so it's next week. On a Tuesday, right? Yeah, on a Tuesday, that's interesting. I like Combat Evolved. To play a lot of it on PC. I forgot it was Grid Day. Hey, Ren, about to run errands and then run with feet. I'll have to catch your run of Nets later. Have fun. Hey, enjoy your errands. Ren, thanks for dropping by. Hey, Spider Bro, let's go. They banned my baby, so I made a Mirror Morph deck. Help me, I'm spiraling. I mean, they functionally banned Mirror Morph. Like, they should have just said that. They should have just done this at the same time to be like, hey, we want to be very clear. There's a very powerful HB deck called, it's the sort of 6-point agenda Neurospike combo decks. And they're really, really strong. So we want to do something with it. So we're going to ban red level clearance. But at the same time, just so you don't feel bad about it, we're also just going to ban Mirror Morph. And that's so you can't complain about it, right? Like, you can complain about how we banned it, but we just thought it'd be easier to ban all parts of this together. Is Mirror Morph probably cooked? Yeah, I mean, Petty Cash is good. I honestly wonder if HB Combo will start playing Calvin Bailey just to make it super, super ironic, just to get a bit more card draw. But yeah, it's unfortunate for sure. Hey, Cold Lava, Jaina doesn't have it, so it's clear R plus is the casual game. So, wait. We're just jamming R plus in casual lobbies? I think we are. We have to be. Hey, Jai. By the way, Cold Lava, how's it going? Seb versus R plus gives us the most cursed ass matchup. Howdy Grid. Yeah, it's the 60-60 matchup. And like this matchup existed in the standard format, I'm pretty sure, for some point in time, because Seb came out in 2024. And it's the same thing when you play Seb against anything. Now, the upsides is if Seb falls behind on money and Seb can clear Oppo researches, like some of his cards become totally blank because his text box is only if he's not tagged for some reason. Nelson Games has this massive aversion to allowing tag me archetypes, right? Like, I guess the closest we have is Rotary, but Rotary like has, downsides. If you're tagged, they can just delete your, payoff card. So like Nelson Games has gone out, and I'm not saying they're wrong, but they've gone out of their way to make every card that could be played in a tag me archetype unplayable. So like, could Seb be played in a tag me archetype? I mean, technically, but this is when you ever take and you don't have tags. Can you play eye for an eye when you have a tag? I think you can actually. Can you play Praxis? No, I don't think you can. Oh no, you can't even play this if you're tagged. Like, it's so frustrating when you get oppoed and you can't clear it, and then half of your deck is like totally blank cards. Like that feels really, really bad. But on the plus side, when you face check into a ping and then you get a free like friend of a friend for no clicks for 1 credit, like that also feels really good. So it's not obvious who's winning that matchup. I think I wish I had more data when I was talking about in the video about Reality Plus, because I don't really remember what was like a favorite matchup into Reality Plus and what wasn't. Like I remember Good Stuff Anarch and like just playing, as much as like you still played companions back there, but just like putting down a fermenter and saying like, I will pop this when you oppo me was generally good enough, because every fermenter trades for a low oppo, and then every large fermenter trades for a big oppo, as much as you generally float a tag if you don't play Hannah. So I think it's probably fine. Hey Lunari, how's it going? Vic is a good shout out in the new meta. What with the tag ID being unbanned, the value around diffusing ID getting banned. Oh yeah, I'm like so excited to play Vic. I'm actually going to locals today, which is really exciting. It's been a while since I've been able to do that. But like Vic seems like a lot of stuff have come up Vic, right? Like now you can run archives and not get punished. If people are playing more asset stuff, like asset ob, or people are playing Reality Plus, like Vic is really quite good. You can get your DreamNet. Like this just seems fine. Maybe Moosely Hot will be better overall, but like I like playing DreamNet more than I like playing Vic. But it's cool to be in the NBN matchup. This text is like really good. Like clearing a tag for half cost and drawing a card is so much better than clearing for 2 and doing nothing. Like it's not a bit better, it's absurdly better. New Halo next week, major update to Marathon today. Oh, hey David. I had no idea. I thought that Halo game was coming out like probably in the autumn, but I guess everyone's trying to dodge upcoming, what's it called? Grand Theft Auto. Mirrormorph keep catching strays. I mean, I'm a Zwicky liker. And like we can't even get good cards. Like the cards get banned out. It happens. Lilo stocks, I really doubt it. Lars, how's it going? I mean, Lilo is probably a bit better than the amount of play it sees. The thing is like just playing, what's her name? Dr. Nuka seems to be a good enough use of influence. And I don't know if there's many better ways to use your influence. Maybe there are. But the thing is like in the NBN matchup, it's hard to get 2 tags unless you get oppoed. Like if you're face checking in the early game and bravadoing into ice and it's a VSA or a ping or a doom scroll, like that sucks. And then you have 1 tag and then you just want to clear it through normal means. You're right though, if people small oppo you more consistently, this card's really good, because this card clearing 2 tags for 2 clicks and a credit, it's like, it's not bad. It's pretty good for sure. But like, I don't know. It's like more likely to be like, if you want to play some tag tech and you don't want to play Vic, like play buy advance, stuff like that. Because this card clearing tags is actually kind of nice. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Lilo's really, really tricky. And it's only good if you have 2 tags. It's only good if you have 2 tags if you get oppoed. And there's only so many oppos you'll get, small oppos. But I don't know, maybe. I don't even slot red level in Mirrormorph. Nexus because I didn't consider it. Nectar because I'm bad at the game. Are you reading a meme template? Mirrormorph at its lowest, it's so over before its final rise to we're so back. I mean, Mirrormorph is weird. It's like, you have petty cash. How bad can it be? And the answer is it's probably worse. Like, red level clearance is a really good card. When you get to watching Odyssey, please give us a sign in one of your stream names. Okay, I haven't done it yet. This weekend is busy because it's a very busy weekend, so it probably won't be this weekend. Maybe it'll be next weekend. I can't tell. This weekend is like a new Marvel Champions release. Saturday, it's America's. Weird Al is doing a free concert here in Montreal on Saturday too, which is pretty hype. So it'll be busy. Rotom was playing 1x Lilo and Musiha, which seemed questionable. Yeah, I don't know exactly if he mentioned it. I don't think he did in the deck write up, but he's also playing 14 Influence. So like, there's things you can do about that. We're not going to find it just like this, are we? I mean, it's okay. It's card draw you can play, but I don't think Rotom is using it to clear tags. I think Rotom is just using it to draw cards, right? Yeah, 1x Lilo and Moosely Hot. It's also not a run event, so it's even more expensive than Moosely Hot or an Icebreaker out of like, you know, anybody else. Mario Odyssey Pog. Yeah, Xu. Marathon is debuting its experimental pure PvE mode today. There's a big question on if it will manage to snag more players. Yeah, I don't know too much about Marathon. I'm not like a big loot-based extraction shooter person. I think parts of Marathon look really nice. I know that game is struggling, which is unfortunate. I was also not into Destiny or Destiny 2. How many people would likely be playing this weekend? At only the Shadow, how's it going? At only the Americas? I don't think we know. The numbers have been pretty good. It's one of the last ones. So like a lot of people will, if they can't go to an in-person tournament or they can't make another online tournament, they will play in this tournament because it allows you to use your buy if you don't have your buy. It's also a way to get access to the prize support. So I think more people will do it. Sometimes people get a bit negative, myself included, where if it's like post ban list to be like, oh, why would you want to play like this? It doesn't matter because it's not in the real meta anymore. But I think you'd be surprised about the amount of people who just like want to play one Melee tournament before it's over. If I'm not mistaken too, this weekend, there's not that many megacities in this side of the world. So there's one in Denver. It seems to be on Sunday though. Maybe that's not right. But that's it. Oh, and then there's one in Ireland, of course. But like in terms of the megacities this weekend, it doesn't look like it's that busy. Generally when there's a lot of overlap. So like, unfortunately EMEA was this weekend, but there was 2 big megacities in EMEA, and still EMEA had like good numbers, like better than I thought it would be, even though the new ban list was announced on Friday. So I still think we'll probably have like 30, 40 players if we're lucky. I do think European players come out and play online more than in America's players for some reason. But yeah, there was still like 30 people here, which is okay. So I assume something similar. Maybe it'll be more. It is the last online megacity, so some people will just like kick the can down the road until this happens. Kind of feel like the modal part of the card isn't needed. Lie low. The modal part of the card is like what makes it interesting. Jai's talking about Lawyer Up. Man, Lawyer Up is such a cool card. The thing with Lawyer Up is like Criminal in 2012 onward had a way to consistently give them 2 tags. But Lawyer Up was more expensive and it did both things. It removed up to 2 tags and draw 3 cards. This card saw no consistent play. And even in a world where like the most powerful common criminal card gave you 2 tags. It said run HQ, 15 credit swing, take 2 tags. This was like the diversion of funds from the original core set. It was a nonsense card. It was even less influence, right? Oh no, actually it's not. It's not. It's the same influence as the modern diversion. Or transfer, excuse me. Yeah, but even then this didn't see play. And this is like Lilo plus plus. I haven't seen anyone play this consistently. I haven't seen anyone play this when they didn't have 2 tags to pay 2 to draw 3 cards. It's weird. Power creep? I don't think it's power creep, right? Like, I don't know if you're being ironic or not, but it's always important to say like power creep only matters when the card that's being crept on was a regularly played card. Like printing a card like this that's on no play and then printing a better version of it is not power creep. It's just like, oh, you understand the game better, right? Like power creep only matters if they print Sure Gamble and they print Sure Gamble Plus, right? That like that's what it matters because now the average level of the game goes up. Making a better card than Lawyer Up that still doesn't see consistent play is not even power creep. It's not even creep. It's arguably not even powerful. I don't know. Time to return to startup to play Melies. I mean, I guess you can. I guess you can. Is Siphon the most powerful runner card in the game? No, definitely not. It'd be like one of the ones that got banned immediately, right? Like Siphon is good, but like Siphon did not have to get banned 2 weeks in, right? Like, what's it called? The that clan card that says destroy the whole corporation's deck. Yeah, Vanidus. Yeah, Vanidus is one of them, unfortunately. It's like not powerful in a way that it actually matters because it's like just the combo deck goes off and wins. And like, obviously that's not healthy. Legit Zoomer tier take. But there's also just like cards that I think are more impactful and more powerful that can warp the game in more meaningful ways. Like sure, Account Siphon's still really good in Eternal, but it's not everything in Eternal. Like I'd argue that Clan Vengeance in Eternal might be more important than Account Siphon is. Both of them deal with CI somewhat well. Yeah, but there's just cards that got banned immediately. Like there's a chance that Blue Moose is even a more powerful card. Like, because everybody can play this and it just gives you 2 credits a turn. Probably not more impactful than a single Account Siphon. And we had decks that would recur Account Siphon over and over again. But I think there's individual cards that are just like more impactful to more people. Actually calling anything that disagrees with the Zoomer. I mean, it is a Zoomer take. To be looking at a card in a 2012 core set and be like, is this the most powerful thing ever? Which is funny because those are usually my takes. Lilo, Biobans, Hannah, Valentina, Underdome, Vic, Friendo. There are a ton of tag removal tech available. And I think that R plus isn't really going to be that good. No, my guess is R plus is probably not going to be amazing. In the standard balance write-up, they talked about R plus being fun. And they also talked about like Rush R plus. Today, we're going to be trying out a different R plus. I think we're going to try and do Flood the Market and go horizontal. Kind of like some of those sync decks we used to play. Not sync, Synapse decks that we used to play. Except we will have better economy and better card draw. Which seems nice. But like inherently, it doesn't seem like a powerhouse of an identity. Hopefully we're not wrong about that. I guess that's my take. Do we have the timeline on the next null signal set or still too far out? Archneus, I don't think we've heard anything. I think NSG has said that they're going to be a bit more cagey, maybe is the term. Maybe that's not. But they're not going to like say things until things are like really lined up. So like they don't want to commit to be like, oh, we'll have a set in February next year if they're this far out, because anything can happen. I think the next set will probably not, like maybe we'll see something at Worlds. Okay. I would say it'd be very weird if we don't hear something at Worlds about the new set, and Worlds is only like 60, 100 days away. It's like pretty close. I don't think we're going to have a new set this year. It'd be surprising, but I'm assuming we're going to have a new set early next year, earlier than this year maybe. And I think from that point on, we'll probably see more consistent sets from this point forward because they have a new like way to do on things. But Safer says I feel very good about the next set. I mean, that's good to hear. We also have no idea whether it's going to be like a narrative cycle or whether it's going to be something more like Vantage Point, which is just like 65 cards or whatever. We have no idea. And at this point now, I think you can be pretty excited in some ways, is that now that Null Signal Games has a much more holistic way of producing cards through Boda than through Make Playing cards, is that they can do weirder stuff. So they're not as locked down to like the sort of like this pack has to be X cards, because at X cards, it costs us this much to print. So I think you can see weirder stuff in the future. So like we have no idea what the next set is. Literally no clue. I'll be honest, I'm still haven't really dug into Vantage Point. Did it shake things up? I mean, yeah, for sure it did. Definitely more so it feels like on the Corp side than the Runner side. We just got a ban list yesterday, and it just banned out one of the identities that came out of the set on the Corp side, which is like very, very powerful. Feel better than safer about the next set. Pat, you coming out tonight? My future hot take is future tag cards will not end up broken in R+, despite them not designing for it, but they'll end up rebanning it anyways. I'd be surprised if R+ is around forever. I'd also be surprised if Melius ever came back, but it's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, excuse me. Do you feel like the new bans and unbans will totally reshape the Netrunner meta game? Totally is such a hard word to try and like, you know, pin any conversation around. Will it change things? Yes. Will it totally change things? No. Is Lou still going to be good? Yes. Are the good criminal and shaper decks going to be good? Yes. Are all the existing identities going to be just as good as they were before? Yeah, probably. Is Ob going to be better? Ob already was pretty good, I'll be honest. I'm one of the people who thinks like Ob was way better than, you know, the amount of people played it. And now Ob is probably going to be very quite good. Opera super heavy with the new Svi unbanned. The Svi is like such a good card for so many different reasons. I think that's going to change a fair bit. I don't think we're going to see anywhere near as much Jinteki Glacier. I don't think it's just going to move over to Restoring Humanity. I don't think people are interested in playing Jinteki Glacier as much as they were interested in playing Melius, because Melius could do a lot of weird things at the same time. I worry that if we see a lot more acid stuff, like Lou's going to be just as good. Lou into Op is not meant to be as good as like Criminal into Op in theory, or Criminal into Reality Plus, but I don't know if that's going to be huge swings. But yeah, things are going to be different, totally different now, but different, like different enough to be appreciable. Hey, Veronica, hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I had a bit of headache today and hasn't really gone away yet, but the coffee might help. Depends on my post-work energy. I mean, if you can, not hustle, but if you can figure it out, Pat, I'll be there. I don't know if you know Dave from West Coast is in, so we're going to come and play some games out at the place. A lot of the Melius decks just don't work in RH. Yeah, exactly. Yo, Rohit, how's it going? I don't think they straight up work. I think if you transport it over, it's not good enough. The Melius ability is like way better than it looked. At least for high level. I've always loved Ob. Baking a tutor into your deck is so underrated. I don't know if I would say underrated. I think a tutor in your deck is one of the best things in any card game, and Ob has proven to be completely busted in every format that it's good in. So the only problem right now is like, this is a result of it getting banned out constantly, that you get that sort of emotional barrage to be like, Op is worse, Op is worse. So people just kind of get off of it. But like, people have been playing Op, and it has like a very high win rate. That being said, whether the op decks are better in Nuvang, whether the op decks are doing anything very op-pilled, it's up to you to figure out. Fredrickson Dave. No. It's Fredrickson Dave. Ob has been the GOAT. Ob is the GOAT. Ob will continue to be the GOAT. I mean, there is so much bias in the standard balance team to make sure Ob is a playable identity. And like, I'm okay with it, because it does make good television as someone who does like commentary and casting. And then you get to see some good players do some really cool skill expression. But there was no reason to do this. I mean, Wayland is still doing stuff. I don't know if you saw this weekend, the NWE players had like 3 people in the top cut playing this Hand Goon deck, which is this ridiculous Bangoon deck. I have no doubt we'll be seeing it next week because it'll be the deck list of the week. But yeah, like, man, there's some cool stuff going on in Wayland right now, as much as it hasn't really well translated over the last couple things. Speaking of Ob, you should shout out to Tino's book writer. If you sell it enough, you might get a reviewer copy. Is this real? So Tuno, it wrote its write-up about the op deck it played at the showdown, and it was a really cool list. It made the top 16, and it was a list that was like very flexible in a bunch of different ways. It was fast advanced deck, it's running 3 slash and burns. I got to see the line that I've never seen before, where if you slash and burn to let them dream, you can just save the slash and burn, because let them dream just allows you to search archives. The big thing with this deck is that you tempo out, you get a FUT on the table, and then the opponent has to deal with FUT while you keep fast fancying out. It has measured response, it has like a flexible isolate. Like, it's cool. It's very, very neat. It is a bit of a like tempo acids damage, and it's a bit of a fast events deck, and it can still score in a remote server, of course, but only one event horizon, so kind of fascinating. And you might also know Tuno, because Tuno writes the Spike Bias blog, which I have said many times is one of, if not the best Netrunner writing, like maybe of all time. And there's some really great stuff out there. I don't want to, you know, make that stuff look bad, but like Tuno's really good. And on top of that, like English is not Tuno's first language, and that's unbelievable, at least from my understanding. But then, if I'm not mistaken, Tuno seems to be writing a book about OB titled Extract, Export, Excel. It's 208 pages long. I hope you enjoy it. It'll be released in September 2026, which, like, I think this is true. I don't think this is a bit, which is incredible. That's absurd. That's so cool. I'm so excited about this. Like, what are you talking about? That is the coolest thing. Like, imagine reading 200 pages of Tuno talking about OB. Like, that's so absurd. Yo, Lasky, congrats on the weekend. Looking forward to the Handgoon stream. We wanted to snipe one of your streams with it, but never managed to time it right. Get out. I haven't sleeved out for my locals today, and I like fishbowled some early hands, and like I look at the deck, I'm like, this deck doesn't have economy. But then when you like use Malapert to bring and mind you, I have full art copies of Digital Rights Management, so I'm so excited to play them. The list looks really fun. It has some weird lines to it. I really wish that the top cuts were filmed. I've heard like second or third hand that there were some really interesting plays. Where can I read this book when it comes out? I don't know. I have no idea how this works. But apparently this is a thing. Is this fiction with Netrunner gameplay? Yeah, this seems to be Netrunner's the best card game ever made. Op Super Heavy Logistics is the best Netrunner card ever made. It has fascinated and mystified Netrunner players ever since its release. Op decks seem to be magically flexible, eluding typical archetype classification, and difficult to play and understand. Extract, Export, Excel introduces a theory of how op decks do all the amazing things they do, explanations of how to put them in practice, and how to expand on them and invent completely new things. En passant, in touches on a variety of more general Netrunner topics like the nature of flexibility, the study of tactics, the concoction of plans, and all the ways that deck building generally works. Tuno plays Netrunner and writes about it. It won the 2024 Circuit Breaker Invitational and 2024 EMA Continental Championship with Op Super Heavy Logistics. It has published a lot of strategy material about Netrunner. Extract, Export, Excel is the first print book. It was part of Null Signal's game standard balance team in the years 2023 to 2025, suspiciously when it won all the events, and has been in the development team since 2024. I mean, what the heck? It's so rad. Tuno's working on the publishing right now. Appears to be already written. Yeah, I assume if it has the page count, it's already written. I would love to get this copy, and I don't know if Tuno's coming to Worlds, but I need to get a signed copy of this. I don't know. I'm so stoked about this. I saw this and I'm like, wait, for real? And I think it's for real, which is so cool. Hey, Kanye, how's it going? I played Handgoon at locals last night, mulled into 4 agendas, and the list didn't immediately implode. I was impressed. Yeah, just install it face up. You're fine. You're fine. I heard Andre's recording the audiobook version. I mean, I wish. This is the sort of thing where like I would love to be able to sit and just read it on the live stream, but that like eats into book sales, so that's not a thing I should be doing. But yeah, I'll do the audiobook, no problem. I'm buying it a second sprint. I mean, this is so cool. This is such a cool pivot. Physical copies of the merch table, I have no doubt that would sell. The back cover just be a copy of OB so we can use it as an identity. I mean, you can use the book as an identity, I think. But the back cover, unfortunately, is this back cover, so you're not gonna get your rules text on it. This is a nice book cover though. Like, I don't know who's commissioned to do this art, but it's quite nice too. Mentally pronouncing footgoon as the same way as handgoon? No. Footgun is footgun. I also went this far without realizing footgun was an expression for something that shoots you. It's a feature, tool, or command designed in a way that makes it incredibly easy for a user to accidentally cause self-harm or catastrophic failure. I didn't know that. I did not know why they were calling it footgun for a while. But that is like a programming and tech slang that I was not familiar with. But you cannot call this handgun. It has to be handgoon. And I really hope the NWE folks are calling it handgoon. It's outside information? I mean, imagine you crack the book open halfway through your turn. The runner like plays a transfer, you're like, uh-oh, and then you like refer to page 60 or whatever. I saw on Reddit that someone made a drafting tool. Do you think drafting has a place in Netrunner? Yeah, for sure. Actually, Netrunner Draft used to be a website, I think. Okay, hold on. Yes, draft has a place in Netrunner. Oh, I'm thinking netrunnersealed.com. There's really great draft the game can have. It's not perfect in some ways. Like it has some issues that other games don't have. But for instance, if you search like StimHack, the StimHack cube has been around for a really long time. Jonas, the big unit, has been updating these regularly, consistently, and you can always see the updates, and it links to a Google document that tells you about like what comes in, what comes out, and some considerations. And anytime that a lot of bears are in person, then generally this gets pulled out and we play it, and it's really good fun. This is draft, so you open packs. The packs are not like randomized with any sort of what's it called, like rarity or pack, promised pack composition, but you just pick a card, you pass it until you build a legal deck, and then everyone has a minimum of legal cards. Are always guaranteed, as much as I don't think you're guaranteed agendas. Maybe you are. I think you're just guaranteed probably Pyrex, which is just like, imagine a send a message but only on score. I do like it a fair bit. It's really cool that you get to see decks that could not exist in standard, where outside of the problems or the restrictions of influence, and then on top of that you can see agendas in other factions they would never exist in. Some really interesting things happen. I think last time I played this I got absolutely bodied because Jeff made like the grossest Geist deck and the grossest industrial genomics deck. Maybe we split. Maybe I got bodied. I know one of the games went terribly, but you can do some really cool things. I do want to say the one thing that is a downside to draft is like it's the same thing with what's it called, with Ampere and like I guess, yeah, Ampere, is that you can't really tell what your opponent's up to. So like you have to face check where every ice can be the worst ice in the game, and that like kind of sucks. Like I don't like that. That's the big thing about Netrunner is like with only 15 influence and you're playing against Jinteki, you know that this is their game plan, this is what they can do to you, and you can make better decisions. You have to watch out because the decision space is like way too big. Goofy things happen all the time though, so it's kind of good. Hey Dullbub, how's it going? How's the weekend? Any cons Friday team tournament is completely draft. Whoa, cool. Oh yeah, I've heard about this. I think I heard on your podcast that is like a 2,000 card draft that Abraham is putting together. I face checked a bloop for the first time last night. Oh, that's not too bad. If you're face checking it early and you don't have breakers, a bloop is not awful. Notice how there's no like harmonics in this draft format because they are inherently very, very, very synergistic cards. Hey, ahoy, I keep forgetting Tuesday streams everything now. Komodo, how's it going? Also, I think I missed Lucy's message. We're done pack drafts in my locals a few times. We've used influence as a proxy for rarity, and it's led to some fun decks. Oh, that's an interesting way to do it. That is an interesting way to do it. On that note, you've like sprung my trap card. Original Netrunner from 1990s is a really fun game that's hard to play because cards are hard to find. But I have a full draft cube of 1990s Netrunner, which follows largely the same rules, but these packs are just randomly 14. I think just about every card in the entire old game exists in this, barring some that don't make sense in the format. And it also follows the structure of the StimHack cube. So there's enough agendas per card, enough ice per cards, enough agenda points per set. And this has been, I've only played it once so far, as much as I put in so much work into this, because it's been hard to like get 8 people together and like have time. But this is also like the coolest way to explore an old game you've never seen before. The rules are mostly the same. Hey, Warlock, how's it going? I'm washed up. I saw your short. I watched your short that you did get, you were washed. I think that's fine. I think that happens. You're now the underdog though, and that's really important because now people will like root for you even more, right? Like that's good. This is good. You should throw a tournament every once in a while. It brings down your ELO too, so like your matchmaking on JNet Casual gets a bit easier. I spent all day editing my Netrunner tier list video and it's finally done. I hate video editing. What are you editing with, Komodo? Also, yeah, I'm sorry that you don't enjoy it. Nobody appreciates your editing, so all the work you went into it, nobody even thinks about it. That's the worst part, huh? While I can understand if you're not likely coming to PAX Unplugged this year, but my nonprofit group got our funding together to have an event there this year, so good news. Oh, hell yeah. That was, I heard through Neon Static, that was the game that is local to your area, no? Still one Classique? Dullbulb, if that's the narrative we're going for, you cannot say that sort of stuff. You should have lost Classique. Using shortcut, it's fairly painless for what I'm doing, but it's just a slog. Yeah, editing is a ton of work. It really is. And that's one of the issues is like some of the hardest things to fix takes the most time. But because you've done a good job fixing them, people don't realize you've done any work in the first place. So they don't say like, wow, you really masked that thing out perfectly. It's just like, oh, cool. And no comment. So like it's the editor's curse. I think it's fine. It's fun. Something I've lived with for a long time. I missed a lot of chat messages. Apologies. We have an owner draft cube in my locals as well. It's really good fun. Oh, heck yeah. I wonder if our lists are that far apart. Do you have any vids building decks only using System Gateway and Vantage Point? No, because System Gateway and Vantage Point are not really a format that a lot of people play in. System Gateway, generally the next product is Elevation that you want to pick up. And even then I only have a couple, like a live stream or two in which Pat and I play what's called the core format, which is again, Gateway and Elevation. Gateway plus Vantage Point is not a format I've ever like heard anyone talk about. So it's like incredibly niche. That being said, there's definitely things you can build in that set, but it's like Vantage Point is very specifically not maybe the best product to get on top of System Gateway, because Vantage Point is meant to be like this weird odds and ends set, where Elevation is meant to be like, oh, we're giving a lot of things, like 2 identities to every faction, right? Like it's meant to be more of a build out set. So like you're probably going to end up with like a System Gateway deck that has like 1 or 2 cards and maybe at least not every neutral agenda in the world. But yeah, no, Gateway and Vantage Point is not like a very common overlap. Good editing is invisible. Why settle for good? Don't play Nuvang into Ari. Conan, I think Konani, maybe Conan, which is a traditional abstract board game invented on Oahu about 1,000 years ago. It's really fun and definitely the sort of games that look like that hooks people who like abstract games. Yeah, I remember seeing the board. It was like a kind of like a tile-based board where you put pieces down, like an abstract. I guess we can just find it on BGG. BGG, Konane. Oops. I remember this being about like some sort of competitive league that was happening from 1775. Yeah, so it has a board with pieces as an abstract. I don't know much more than that. But I know that there's funds being raised to run some sort of tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah, these boards are nice. Very cool. Just thinking about VP and our cards without knowing about Phoenix. That's really funny. Vantage Point was meant to solve a couple holes with Elevation, at least in the standard meta. But yeah, it's a very, very strange product to get right after System Gateway, unfortunately. You'll still like be able to play cards and have a good time, but it's like not a very common thing you see the overlap. Okay. As soon as rendering is done, the community will know the objective quality of all 16 reptile cards in standard. It's a huge milestone in Netrunner content. Are there any cards that were an amphibian that you had to consider? Are you missing MU yet? No, I'm not. I'm not. And like, it's such, Chancellor, how's it going, by the way? It's like such a weird conversation. I kind of edited it out at the end of the outro on the ban list video, but like, I feel guilty. I generally feel guilty about this. Like, this is obviously one of the most interesting identities Null Signal Games has ever put out. Maybe ever will. I don't know. No, they put out Op, but like they really cooked on this one. But ultimately, like this card was frustrating. It was really, really frustrating. And I would say it's a bit unhealthy. We know what that is. We don't need to reiterate it, but in short, grabbing cards back from archives, either on a full random roll or, you know, a thing that you can kind of force, really disincentivizes interaction, particularly for people who want to poke. And getting a card back from archives is just like one of the most frustrating things in any game, let alone this game, specifically when, and this is something I want to say that I talked about. It's like when Melius came out, sure, every once in a while when it fires and they bring back a hedge fund, it feels really bad when you want to put on pressure in the early game. Like that obviously feels bad. And you could argue that away to be like, okay, don't play that way. That's on you. And sure, you're right. I could play more passively, and all the Shaper players are like, what's the problem? And I get it, they're Shaper players, they don't have to run. And then things like I was saying, this is going to get worse, and we basically were getting there. I don't think we got to the late stage Melius, but we have decks that are bringing back like Big Deal and Measured Response. And I'm pretty sure we talk about this in like the tier list video with Jeff. I was like, there's going to be one day where we just play Oppo, Measured Response, Big Deal, and any card that really matters can come back 1 out of 3 times. And what do you do about that? Like, I don't know, bringing back cards infinitely from archives, you know, infinitely in massive quotes, just doesn't feel good. And it's going to be a problem forever. There was a question that came up on, there was, mind you, the Measured Response didn't drop on Thursday, it dropped on the weekend. I think it was a Sunday night. I watched it not live. And one of the questions was like, why does Melius seem like it has different treatment in terms of it getting banned out relatively aggressively, as opposed to some of the other most powerful identities like Ayuko, which, as for what it's worth, got a lot of bans over last year and is still pretty performant in the modern meta, or like Op, which is also technically still performant, but got cards unbanned. And the response is like, very much the point. It's like, you cannot make Melius U worse without making Jinteki worse. And the conversation about banning Lacosta, like that would just destroy Jinteki, barring Melius U and Ayuko, who Melius U could get around not playing Lacosta, but other like honest Jinteki identities like Isawak and PT and Atea need Lacosta to exist, probably, from our understanding. So the idea is like Ayuko and Op, you can ban cards from them to like, you know, curtail their power level. We saw Ayuko get, you know, banned around for the whole last year. And did it work out? Yeah, largely. I think we're okay where AUKO is right now. Some people still don't like it, and I get it. But like AUKO had multiple bans that made AUKO worse, because AUKO inherently is only synergistic based off of the card pool. And then of course OB is even maybe more that, where like OB is only as good as the card pool. And we've seen many targeted off bans as much as we just saw an OB unban, which again, I'm not convinced is necessary, but that's fine, I guess. But I don't know what you do against Melius. Like this text will be a problem forever, and there's nothing you do to the card pool that will make this feel better. Melius wasn't clearly better than AU IMO. Yes and no. Competitively, I think it's about similar. I think the bigger thing though is like way more people were playing Melius U than AUKO, and more people were playing Melius U, which means the win rate data is a bit less consistent, but it also supported like 7 times more archetypes, right? Like sure, there's actually a couple AUKO archetypes. They're kind of like more niche off branches, like full fast events, Blood in the Water. We used to have like false leads, like all that sort of stuff, or Genesis Hollowman, humanoid. But ultimately, like Melius U was so absurdly performant for also being the dominant archetype and supported every different kind of like way you could consider playing. Andre really be looking at all the Netrunner content? What do you mean? When Shaper players run, they can run. They ban the cards that we're using to run. If Shaper players don't run, they ban the cards that we are using to sit back and not run. That is Netrunner. I'm totally new to Netrunner. Integrated. How's it going? What do you mean when you say Shaper players don't need to run? As in they don't necessarily need to run early. Oh, so Shaper players classically, like the control Shaper players, they don't run much, right? Like if you look at the criminal card pool, a lot of the criminal card pool is of reasons to run, reasons to get value. And if you look at like System Gateway, a lot of times System Gateway shows you like the fundamentals of how the faction works. So they have cards like Penny Shaver. Their console says like, oh, you want to be running because every time you run, you get credits, right? Not that Penny Shaver is a common card in standard format, but this shows you how they work, right? Like Red Team. Red Team is a card that once you put it on the table, you have to make a whole bunch of runs for it to be paid off. Very obviously, even in the identity, Zaya is all about like, oh, money gets made when you touch cards. So Criminal is all about getting paid, putting yourself forward by interacting. Shaper on the other side doesn't. Shaper has a lot of cards that are all about setting up and building, right? Like Telluride Contract and System Gateway. That's the idea. You put this down and then you spend 4 clicks to get 8 credits. Do you have to interact? No. Doesn't matter what the corporation does? No. Now Shapers are running, but like name a Shaper run event. It's hard. There's not that many in the game. Burner is like the one that comes to mind, but like there's not that many Shaper run events. And while Shaper did get better at playing more event econ and like event stuff is a bit more interesting than classically Shaper was a bit more like resource and program very heavy. There's a lot of Shaper decks that would say like, I have no reason to run centrals unless it's a deep dive. So all they'll do is pinhole and run the remote server every once in a while. And then once on the game point, they'll deep dive. That's a huge simplification, but it's not like Criminals in which like half of their cards are about like, oh, I need to make a run this turn because I'm holding a clean getaway and a bravado. Right? Trick shot done. Air check marathon. Everyone's naming really commonly also unbanned cards. Hey Joel. Imagine now pretending, not pre-recording and having it ready to go ASAP SMH. Sorry, Jai. Unlimited recursion is unhealthy is what I think the ban boiled down to. Yes, in very simple terms, unlimited recursion is unhealthy. And even just recursion, limited recursion like that can also feel unhealthy. I know this might have felt unhealthy, but one of my favorite things about Melius is that you could build decks that didn't spend half of their slots on gas. Decks being nothing but gas is super boring. Yeah, there's a lot of good things to say about Melius. Like, it was a platform that supported so many different archetypes. And a bunch of that was like your hedge fund, sometimes you played it twice, right? Sometimes of this, you just had like inherent defensive central like protection. Sure, I didn't ice R&D on turn 1, but is the criminal going to run it? No, because they don't want to run a 50-50 on running archives for no reason, just to run R&D for the clean getaway, right? Like now the single access on R&D costs 2 clicks as much as you do cost a corporation a credit, right? Like the fact that I can play greedy combo cards and I can just throw them out and know that there's a chance they'll be back in my hands when I need them. Like this was really cool. And it did allow for very interesting, very compelling deck building. For sure it did. But also like, oh my God, I hated playing against it. I mean, like every deck recurring bites over and over again. Like that is also like not particularly fun, but it's weird. It's like, it had some great stuff in it, but also had some like really, really, really unfortunate stuff in it. RH was like entirely playable before VP came out. I'm tired of people pretending it wasn't, but that's the big thing that I think is a huge difference between Restoring Humanity and Melius. And you heard this if you talk to anyone who played Restoring Humanity at a high level at Worlds. You won if you drew well. Period. Like you had no agency in most of your Restoring Humanity games, and you could watch this on stream. You could see the games where Sleeper like didn't get a Sisyphus and the opponent set up and then destroyed the remote server and the game was over on the spot. There was nothing you could do. That happened a lot. Like a lot of the RH players who were competitive last year at Worlds of Top 16 were complaining about how bad the Corp agency was, particularly because this deck doesn't do anything. It just sets up well. Did you draw your Charlotte and your Lacosta early? Could you protect it? If not, what are you doing? And the answer was like losing. And that is a big difference that Melius can do. Melius can like subvert that to be like, oh, even a bad hand you can kind of like play because you both have central protection and redundancy, recursion. I don't think Restoring Humanity was ever like that consistently good. Thank you for the explanation, but of course, yeah, don't ever hesitate to ask a question, specifically if you're newer to the game. There's a lot of things that are like very complicated. Newer people, like, we love talking about this game, whether it's me or folks in chat, so like don't hesitate. Welcome to the game. New player here. I've been binging all your tier lists recently. What does horizontal advancing mean? Hey, Conmouse, how's it going? Before Conmouse, horizontal advancing. That actually might be like a portmanteau of a couple words that don't exactly like mean anything to me. So I think there might be some like miscommunication here. Horizontal decks are decks that want to basically put out a lot of assets. So for instance, and this is not in the current format and standard, is like Near Earth Hub said, the first time you create a remote server, draw a card. So you saw a lot of Near Earth Hub decks that had like 24 assets in it because they would just keep putting things out horizontally. And those are called horizontal decks, right? Asset decks, asset spam decks. These are all different terms. Horizontal advance doesn't mean anything. The other term that comes up is like never advance or fast advance. Mind you, in the standard format, there's still horizontal decks. Epiphany is kind of that, because if the court runner trashes something, they can get a thing from the top of their deck. But that's a horizontal deck. Fast advance and never advance are two different things. Fast advance is the idea of scoring agendas straight from hand without leaving them on the table for a turn, so runners can't steal them or interact with them. So for instance, if I have 7 credits and a nano management, first click I can play nano management to gain 2 clicks, and now I have 4 clicks. So I can install any 3-2 or 3-1 agenda and go advance, advance, advance. That's called fast advance because you're advancing fast. Never advance means you put a card on the table, like an agenda behind ice, maybe, usually, but not necessarily, but you don't advance it. Because as soon as you advance a card in Netrunner, you're really closing the space of what the possible card could be. Because as soon as the card is face down in remote server and it's advanced, it can be an agenda or only a small subsection of advanceable assets or upgrades, which don't commonly see play. The thing is, with never advance, you put a card on the table and you don't pre-advance it. And then next turn, generally with things like seamless launch or even Holloman, you score them out. So you're basically putting cards on the table, but you're not showing their agendas by advancing them. And then you fast score them out. Like seamless launch, advance, advance puts 4 advancements, which is how you can easily score out. So maybe there's a term here. Yeah, that might be mixed up. But like horizontal decks are like asset spam decks. So decks that don't run like a lot of ice, they just go horizontal and say, I can overrun you with important assets that you can't afford to check and or trash. Never advance is putting cards on the table, not showing their agendas, but scoring them out, usually quickly, with cards like Seamless Launch or Holloman or any other like click compression for advancements. And then fast advance is just scoring straight from hand. So for like Gemlang is the fast advance identity right now. I guess I have to search this in the format, because once it's flipped, when it plays an operation, it gets a click back. So generally with Gemlang, you never build a remote server and you just score everything from hand. And I don't like it. Can somebody ask about Arkham Horror so we can get through the stream already? RH Cultivate has been legal, but clearly has been underexplored because Melius. Yeah, I do think more people are going to explore RH. And I even think like Cultivate showed up in a weird place this weekend that I was surprised to see it. That made a deck look better than it was probably. But like people are definitely going to try Restoring Humanity and it's probably going to be okay. And like Cultivate might actually matter because Cultivate is like a pretty good card. But like I'd be very surprised if the RH decks end up playing like Lotus Haze and don't just play like, conventional Jateki Glacier with either Sisyphus or Proprietary Negation. Just because like one of these cards is a bit more convoluted. And you know what? Melius was actually okay with convoluted stuff. What's everyone's favorite investigator? Hey, everybody, how's it going? I doubt there'll be slots in a 44 card Glacier deck for Cultivate to feel great. I mean, people played, what's it called? Mindscaping and felt okay about it. I didn't understand those people all the time, but like, maybe. Vic? Yeah, Vic. Yeah, Vic's good. Based answer to UH. I'm still annoyed that you can't search Vic on this. This should have a Vic search. It should be one of the autocompletes. RH is going to be fine. It's just got enough to stand on its own. I'd be surprised. Quesadilla, how's it going? Like, maybe. I do think like maybe Restoring Humanity might look better if people shift away from feeling like they have to deal with Jinteki Glacier, because the meta now going from 20 to 25% Jinteki Glacier, it could go down to 10 to 5. And that does really help because people are like teching into the matchup. Like I'm pretty sure as of, the next week, we're not going to be seeing 2 influence spent on game dragons in Anarch. maybe you play one of these and one tungsten so you can find one sooner than later, so it's still okay. I would never actually played enough of the modern like Elu deck to know when you played this, because I never did. But like certain things can change that can open it up. I think Seb is still really good, and Seb is probably even better in the further meta. And if Seb is really good, like Jinteki Glacier can just get a fair bit worse too. So I don't know. Hard to see Arch Glacier doing as well as it did pre-VP with the current prevalence of Doom Rigs. Sure, but like it's worth keeping in mind that Doom Rigs existed as a response to not Sisyphus, but kind of Sisyphus, but to Melius. So if there's less Melius and there's things that are faster, like Op and like maybe Reality Plus, technically, there might be less of a penchant to build a Doom Rig deck in the first place. So who knows? Yeah, you can play 49 card RH. That's you're allowed to do it. I think RH Glacier needs to be 49 to fit in the cultivates. I would be selling my Jinteki Glacier stocks post haste. The archetype is dead. I would be selling my Jinteki Glacier dead. I have no idea. I don't want to come out and be like, this is dead, because it might not be. I've done no exploration, so it'd be silly too. But like, I mean, people will try it. I'm not super positive that it'll work out. Hey, Mooka, I think Cultivate has a lot of potential to help with our age agency issue. Yeah, me too. It's a good card. It's a really cool card too. Very cool card. Just bond Hanse and hedge fund easy. Please hire me SNG. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The thing I did want to say, like, I feel guilty about this. Like, I don't know what to say about this. I think this has come up once before where like there's a card that's been such a like a card that's made me enjoy the game less. And ultimately, maybe as a person on the internet, I can complain about it and then it becomes truth where like the card does get banned out. Right. Last time this was that NBN card that I swear nobody besides Brandon likes. But now Melius U, like there's a lot of Melius U enjoyers, and that's because it was a flexible thing that captured the hearts and minds of many. Of course it did. It was very, very good and flexible. I didn't like this. I know I'm not the only one. I've heard a lot of people who don't care about this, but I was like surprised. I thought the Melius U sentiment, at least from what I've seen about it getting banned, would be like a 50-50 of people who are unhappy and people who are happy. And I think it was actually closer to like 80-20. Or people who are mostly happy and then some people who are unhappy, which surprised me. And not saying that the majority makes them right, but I was surprised of how many people seem to be celebrating, at least in the spaces I looked in, about this thing in general. Because I don't know, maybe people got tired of it as fast as we did. Exactly, 2 people like touch-ups, Brandon and Cranked. Oh yeah, Cranked too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2 people. I mean, that's good company, but yeah, touch-ups. Melius surely also got banned to the Altard Curse with people making custom dials. At least it happened before I did a big bad print of mine for World. Yep. Yeah, there's some good Melius Altards. Melius can rest in piss, lol. Big small preceded by big sad can rest in piss. So that's a no changing to the Melius grid. I mean, not even once did we consider that. Ren, how's it going, by the way? Anyways, good stuff. I'm so sad PD escaped the ban. Like Precision Design, the identity escaped the ban, because like I do think that PD combo deck is actually going to be fun to try and figure out. I do think trying to build that deck without red level clearance does give you much narrower lines, and it puts you less on tempo. I don't know whether greasing the palm just like fixes it or not. Like maybe it does, but like you didn't use red level clearance for greasing the palm effect all the time. Sometimes you just use it for tempo for setup. But like you could make this change. Maybe you need slightly more card draw. Maybe you play some Calvin Baileys. I don't know. This card is not awful, but it's not super consistent. I do think JTFQ's version might have been playing Calvin Bailey originally. But yeah, I do think the combo HP deck is like probably still interesting and just way harder to play. So I kind of want to give that a shot at some point because it seems kind of fun. Banning PD would be the worst ban list decision of all time. It is an ability that is messed up. Like I want to be very clear that this ability is nonsense, but like this is tolerable nonsense. Like Melius is like way nonsense. To me, this is like slightly reasonable nonsense. Slightly. The reason I'm happy about R plus unban and PD ban dodge is that it removes a barrier for new players. Yeah, it does. Like it's always awkward. The standard ban list I don't think has specifically said that they're gonna make decisions about like accessibility when it comes to newer players. But it's weird that when you come over from System Gateway, that there's like a handful of cards that get banned, let alone a handful of really powerful common cards in the System Gateway that got banned. Like at this point, how many cards from System Gateway are banned? Like 2 or 3? So an identity got unbanned, but we have like Cleaver banned, we have Off-World Office banned, we have the HB Agenda Luminal Transubstantiation banned. So it's like most decks are impacted by this. So it's a strange thing to transfer over, but it's like it's not the end of the world. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. But like I honestly don't think the standard ban list cares about that, for better or for worse. I think it's okay. I think if you got into System Gateway and you enjoyed it and you want to go into the standard format, losing Off-World Office would probably not make you uninstall. Ban flood the market. PD has been hella fine for like 5 years. There's no shot they're banning flood the market. Like, I'm so glad they didn't ban fully operational either, which I know some people hate this card. But I want to live in a world where you can deal with this. Jai was talking about this on a podcast recently, and like that is a notable thing. It's like fully operational, you built decks around it. But when fully operational went off, all it did is it gave you money or card draw. Like it was good, but that didn't win the game on the spot. And then you still needed to leverage that money or card draw to build a board state in which you could score out, which made some of the most interesting Netrunner we saw, like circa 2024 when ASA group was still like legal, right? That is so cool. Like very, very good games where like you still ultimately scored out in a remote server with maybe an Anoetic or a Managarm, but ultimately like fully operational was just a way that you got there. And the runner interacting with that was still reasonable, but ultimately if they could interact with one of your remote servers that you scored out or like bluffed behind, they could still win the game. And flood the market's really different because it's also now a win condition. So like you can do the thing where you just put cards on the table and that is inherently a win condition. You can now fast advance 5/3s from hand. So the value of the fully operational setup has changed. It's not only like the setup and the payoff, but the payoff is now also a win condition. And that is very different. I do agree if we had to ban one of these, I'd actually rather ban flood than fully op, because like fully op still forces you to play Netrunner in some way, and this doesn't. Today we're gonna be trying to play this on NBN and see if we can make horizontal like R+ assets make any sense, which probably won't. My Ashes Natural Magic expansion just arrived. Yo, that's sick. I want to say I, for the first time ever, reached out to a company. I reached out to Plaid Hat Games to be like, hey, I've been streaming this on a channel and people have been really liking it. I made a rig overlay, and they're like, yeah, cool. I'll send you that. And so it's now in the mail. So I feel like a big man. ASA was fun. Yeah, ASA was really fun. Really, Jai, PD is one of the few IDs that they do that for. Sorry, in response to. PD would be fine if we're any two of its three abilities, but all three hand size, recursion, and deck size is too good. Seamless PD beats most other HB archetypes. I do think one of the biggest issues with system gateway, and it is because small card pool for newer players and small card pool to make a affordable product. This number sucks. This 40 it has been a nightmare forever. I kind of wish this game just stopped printing 40 IDs. Unless it had really not good text on it. But this has turned out to be like way bigger of a problem than I think anyone has ever expected it to be. And it has been, even for like years before System Gateway. But like this is such an issue. It's good for newer players though, because there's less cards in their deck they have to know. And less, it's easier to deck build, right? But like, yeah, this number does suck. I do want to say this really quickly, and I can't tell if it's like intentional or not. It's probably not, but like, okay, ASA group. I'm assuming this means something in a language from around Uganda. I think it's Uganda that we're on. Was this always like a little FFG joke? Because Arkham Horror has a common keyword as a group. And at this point, I just say ASA group whenever I read it. This comes up all the time. It has to be defined. Like as a group is like a very rules and appropriate word that's been showing up in other FFG's designs at the time. And so they made it an identity called as a group. Waiting for 30 card corp ID with max text. Yeah, mill 5, draw 1. The worst 40 card corp is probably Cybernetics Division. Yeah, probably. Hey, can we search for that actually? Can we search for identity size? I don't think we can search for deck size. No, you can't search for deck size, can you? No, you can't. That's weird. Maybe it's in part of the syntax. Minimum. No, deck size. Size? No, you can't. The World Is Yours is pretty doofy. Yeah, but it won events. Like The World Is Yours won a Canadian Nationals one year, if I'm not mistaken. Mind you, this is most of PD at 12 influence. It wasn't good, but like there was worlds in which an NBN fast events deck with tag punishment actually did win events. But yeah, this is definitely not the worst one you could play. It's funny because the 40 card deck size corps come to the closest original Netrunner deck composition where they were 44 with 18 points. Yes, but the game, I don't know. The game was obviously very different. But yeah, that is a notable thing when you play ONR is that the amount of points you need is decreased by generally one agenda. Think Corp says increase effects are stronger than they sound. They're a bit better than they sound. In this world, we had a Wayland upgrade that gave you +2 hand size that nobody played. I don't even know the name of it. Something servers? This can't be. No, this is the recurring credits one. There was a card in the original core set that just gave you +2 hand size. And I don't know the name of it. That's how important it was. But extra hand size is like not bad. It's genuinely not bad. Research station? Yeah, research station. Thank you, Crank. I mean, 2 res cost, 3 trash cost. Yeah, that's fine. That's not because the ID text, it's because you got to play 3 Astra script. Oh, of course, yeah. Like 1 because it won 3 Astra biotic labor. Oh yeah. It was a consistent small deck for fast advance, and it had a bigger hand size, so it didn't have to ice up that many things. Like icing HQ is less relevant. I mean, Cybernetics Division didn't even have broken cards propping it up. That's the argument. Yeah, Cybernetics just said that everybody has 1 less hand size, which anti-PD technology. This is each player. It's not just the runner. So the corporation had to play a 4 hand size, and like you feel it. It's the interesting thing. It's like 6 hand size. How good is it? And the answer is like, it's pretty good. Turns out it's way better than you think it is. Try playing with 4 hand size. It's abysmal. It feels so bad, especially because this deck was not very good at doing anything quickly. So you ended up flooding up, and when you flooded up and your hand is now 3 agendas out of 4 cards instead of 3 out of 5, like it felt so much worse. Yeah, hand size with the corp is like way more important than you think it is. This ability was always rubbish. It would never was not rubbish. Like period, never. This is just playing overriders or not. Yeah, this is just Mushin cerebral overrider, which like, I mean, we can play cockroach poker at home. It just requires you a couple more cards. But yeah, this is basically what mitosis is. So a single card, 3 advancements on it. So the idea was an overwriter that was going to do, mind you, this is still in standard with new art. Do you want to take 3 core damage, or do you want to let me score out a mandatory upgrade that gives me a click every turn? Gambit. Think about all this time, you just turn 1 click, 1 draw on side div as a negative EV. Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good. What's Media Blitz for? Scoring Vitruvius again? Or sorry, ABT again? Yeah, it's stealing their mandatory upgrades. Yeah. Media Blitz is really good art. I have this on a playmat from Nationals, one of my favorite playmats. Choose an agenda in the runner square area. Media Blitz gains the text of that agenda. So if they get a mandatory upgrades, you don't care. Yeah. This was a thing that you could do. This card was not very common. Mushin was much more deadly than Mitosis because of Junebug. Yeah, it's like, it's interesting. So Junebug was the original Urtica. The thing is, like, if you install Advance, Urtica and Junebug do the same amount of damage. The thing is, Junebug had way more lethal scaling. So Urtica says when you access it, it does 2 net damage plus 1 per advancement. So for 2 advancements, it does 4. Junebug, which costs a credit, which is a huge difference that I really don't like that these cards don't have this. If you pay a credit when the runner accesses, it does 2 net damage for each advancement. So you can no longer never advance a Junebug to any threat, but on 2 advancements, it does 4 damage. The problem is, like, the version of Mushin put 3 advancements while Mitosis puts 2. And that means that the Junebug with 3 advancements threatens 6 net damage, which means you have to play your whole turn around taking potentially 6 net damage. Yeah, and paying a credit. The fact that the modern traps largely don't take a credit is such a downside, because that was the only way you could play around these, is that you try and get the runner, or sorry, the corporation down to 0 credits, and then you could check their stuff. Like Cerebral Overrider is still in the format, but it's like healthy. It allows for counterplay. It means that you actually have to keep your credit totals up and you can't just spam traps. Yeah. Out of the Mushin Mati Jumon list. Yeah. Hey, witches. Playing Shell Corporation is very funny. Yeah, Shell Corporation is like this very bad Caddy Jones like upgrade, but the idea is that you could put it on top of a trap and it would keep it safe. So this is functionally the same text as Caddy Jones, which in this day and age, I don't think people actually think is a good card anymore, but it was a staple card on the runner side. And you can only use one of these abilities once a turn. It's either place 3 credits on this or take all credits, and you have to res it for 2 and install it. So the amount of actions you put into this is only like a really good econ card if it has like 15 credits on it. The numbers are pretty bad. Keep stalling until Fox goes to sleep. Oh, hey, Ion. It's 1:30 a.m., but I could catch a game perchance. Oh, hi, Jai. We're going to be stalling for a bit because we have to build a deck, Ion, with the new format. So if you're going to stay around to try and snipe a game, it's probably going to hurt your sleep schedule. The Ion Fox game is a canon event. You can't stop it. It's your birthday, Ion. Happy birthday. Zoomers are wrong. Caddy Jones is actually pretty good. A lot of people did play it hella badly, though. Yes. And I do want to say, before we stop talking about Caddy Jones, people played Caddy Jones poorly, consistently, because the corporation forced them to do it. Like, the thing with Caddy Jones, it's kind of like Fermenter, is when this is on the table, the corporation has to make a play and has to force you to use this inefficiently. Right? Like, at the end of the day, if the corp can't force you to use this inefficiently, then you're going to lose the game. So like, people used it inefficiently, but hopefully because the corporation caused that to be a problem, right? Because again, if you install Caddy, you use Caddy, you take the money off Caddy, you've spent 3 clicks to make a credit. That's terrible. So if you put 6 credits on it, you spend 4 clicks to make 4 credits. Obviously terrible. If she has 9 credits, you spend 5 clicks to do 4 credits. No, 5 clicks to get 7 credits. Not amazing. But the idea is that this only gets good once you have 12 to 15 credits. But when you put this down, the corporation knows they're on the clock if you can afford to click this every turn. I do kind of miss this. It's a cool card. Hey, Ren, happy birthday as well. I topped an event once with a deck that had Proco and Caddy Jones. That was fun. My birthday was technically yesterday, but perhaps it's still today. It's still today here, so we're allowed to say it. Proco is jangling keys for you. Yeah, this also shows you how slow the game was at some point in time that you could do this. And also it's like a very good like explanation. And I do think that Null Signal Games has done a great job of making Shaper a bit more dynamic. But this was like the quintessential economy card for Shaper back in the day. And like the whole Shaper faction was about like put down an expensive slow card that pays off over time. So it wasn't uncommon for a Shaper to put Proco down on turn 1 and then just like draw, and then next turn draw, then install 2 cards. And this is what Shaper was like. It was like, I do not need interact. I will build for a late game in which I will win. And that's because eventually this outpays the 5 credit install. Eventually. I think Caddy would be unplayable today. I think Caddy might be unplayable today. But the economy in this game feels like it's a lot more explosive. Hey Ryan, how's it going, by the way? There are definitely some decks that would play her. Like I think there are decks, but also like we have Fermenter, and a lot of the slower like Shaper decks, they can just grab Fermenter if they need them, and Fermenter largely does the same thing. Keep forgetting this card was in standard 2 years ago. Proco, yeah, Proco was like part of System Gateway, not System Gateway, System Update or whatever it was called, and it saw no play because the format was just way too fast for this. It was a weird card because it getting reprinted into System Update made a lot of sense. Be like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's very a core Shaper card. But this card saw no consistent play ever since like 2017, 2016. Pitchforks, your gamble's a crutch. Hell yeah. Yeah, I like these sort of Haley lists that played as few events as possible because Haley doesn't want to play events. It's cool. Caddy and Julie. I mean, if Caddy and Julie's good, you could play Caddy and Telework. You play Caddy and Nuka, and people don't. Yeah, Telework is basically Caddy. Exactly. It's limited Caddy. For what it's worth, also the Smartware distributor is kind of Caddy Jones build. I missed that 419 deck where you career for Proco out. Yeah. Yeah, Smartware. Yeah, it's kind of Smartware, but better. Man, Smartware could have been a good card. Could have been an okay card. Love to see Career Fair again, maybe with a glow up, like Rigging Up did for Modded. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't got it. There's always been a history in this game of having a click compressed card that allows you to install something with synergy, right? So Modded was the one, install a hardware program cost by 3. Modernly, we have Rigging Up, which is just this, but with more text. I think it's more influence though, which is unfortunate. Maybe it's the same. No, it's more influence, which sucks because Rigging Up actually would be splashed if they could. Like there's some decks that would probably consider playing this. Probably, maybe not. But already Rigging Up was very expensive. Or sorry, Modded was a bit too expensive. Career Fair was one influence, so it could be played anywhere, and this installs a resource from your grip playing 3 less. And a lot of your resources were early economy or card draw, so getting those down was not bad in the early game, as much as this is like, you know, a conditional card based off of a hand size. You need the right cards in the right hand. I want to say though, installing a card and saving 3 for a single click is way better than it sounds, because you have click compression on top of your economy card. We haven't seen a modern Career Fair, right? Like the closest we have to this is Open Market, which is not exactly it, but it's weird that we don't have a Career Fair like card in the format because it's like such a key criminal card. I want to shout out that the original Modded from ONR was so much cooler, but had so many words. It says like you have 6 actions that you can either click for a credit or install a hardware or program. At the end of this event, all credits gained by this way have to be discarded. Like something super convoluted, but it largely says you can install multiple things or save multiple credits, and it was up to you to figure out how to use them. So you could install 1 card and save 3, I think is how it came out to. Maybe the numbers were like 7 actions, I forget. Or you can install multiple cards and save 1. I mean, like it's such a cool card. It's like a way weird card. But even this is like fine. Turns out it's fine. I feel like Energy said somewhere that Open Market is just Career Fair. I mean, that sounds right, but like it's not. The thing about Career Fair was that it was click compression, and that card is not click compression. Printings? Why is that not loading? Why is it not loading? Oh, nothing's loading. Okay, weird. What would have made Smartware good? 5 instead of 3? It had to come in with credits. If Smartware came down with 3 credits, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. If it came in with 3 credits, it'd be fine because it's inherently a click for 3, and then you could choose to reload it. A slow click for 3 is like not great, because you already have like instant click for 3s with better text, like no free lunch, or like you can just play a strike fund or whatever. So like a econ card that's a 0 for 3 credits that's slow is not great, but you could refill this. And so the idea was that you could click for 3 multiple times in a game. So you could spend 2 clicks for 6 credits slowly over like 7 or 8 turns. It's still probably not good enough for most decks, but it would make it a consideration. I do think they've said like there needs to be bad cards on the core set so you can learn something about the game. Open market to me is slow gamble. I mean, it's like daily cast, but it actually can be faster. Like that is the unique thing about open market versus daily casts. It's very easy for you to install your open market and then immediately install your class act and basically empty your open market in a single turn. So you're right, it's slow gamble, but I would probably not play this in a deck that takes me 5 turns to empty it or 6 turns. It's way too slow. Paladin is smartware that starts with infinite credits ish. I mean, yeah, every econ card is just a companion, unfortunately. One day they'll be gone. Not today. Friends guard your passions. So what they're gonna do, right? Hear me out. Is what they do now. Have you ever seen the flip identities in Marvel Champions? They're like this card that you can flip over. Okay, hold on. You need to see these because they're the coolest card technology. And like NSG, if you're looking into this, please do it. So Marvel Champions, Ant-Man. I think it's hyphenated. So Ant-Man is this card that is a foldable card. So on the front side is Ant-Man. On the back side is Alter Ego Scott Lang. But this card has like a fold in it. Like you see this line in the middle? That's a hinge. And so when you spatchcock the sucker and spin it over, it becomes Big Ant-Man. So you functionally have created a 3-side card. You know how Hoshiko can flip? What about if you could continue to flip Hoshiko? And so now what you can do is you can rotate all the companions. You can decide which companion you don't like as a design. And then each one of them can be a different companion for your party. And then they have to keep flipping every turn. And then they each have their downsides and their credits. How do you sleeve it? That's the fun thing. You don't. Actually, how you sleeve it, the real answer is you can get 2 side loaders. So if you get like a penny sleeve side loader, you can put 2 on each side and then like tape it in the middle. There's also like convoluted kind of systems for this. For I think the Transformers TCG works like this, where there's like 3-sided cards. Look fragile. I've used my Ant-Man forever. Hasn't been an issue. Ultimately, it's not a problem. Which smart would be playable if you put 2 per turn, but clicking also only loaded 2? I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly. Hyper Geo Mashiko. The 3-sided card thing is awesome. And I want to be clear, this game uses it very sparingly. There's only like 3 heroes with this and then 1 villain that's ever been like this. I don't know if it's expensive for printing, but it's like so cool to have a 3-sided flip card. It's like really interesting technology. Exactly. Imagine this on Daywee that you keep flipping. They could have made Melies like that. It'd be like throw it in the air, whatever side it lands on. What is multiple cards needed to form 1 giant card? You want Exodia? I mean, we can have Exodia. Brussels and MTG. I don't think I know what that is. I think that's a city, so I'm not sure. All right, really quickly, we're going to look at some results. Again, results, your mileage may vary. There are mega cities this upcoming weekend, and probably I think that's the last weekend. Yes, because next weekend is the first. So it's the last weekends of mega cities, but we can look at some results as much as the meta obviously has like moved to something else because there's some cool stuff here. Rotating hexagonal ID, divide it like a pie. Ooh, okay. So like Arnak mechanic. So what we need to do is we need to have a rondelle. The mechanic in Arnak has this wheel, and this wheel, you can get these little bits that throughout the game that you can add into the wheel slots. And anytime that you spin the wheel, you get to do the abilities on whatever side it shows up on. If it's gold, it's a better ability, but you can choose to do the ones on the side. You want a rondelle runner, a Ronor. I don't like saying that. Cascadia Continentals is the next weekend? On the 1st, in 2 weekends, right? That Arnak leader is sick. Which expansion is this from? This is from the expeditions, not the expedition leader, so from the missing expedition, which came with 2 new leaders, the mechanic and the journalist. And it came with ways to play this game cooperatively or solo. There was a solo variant you could play before on the internet that was actually like surprisingly good, but it came with a lot of components for specifically solo play. The mechanics are actually really quite fun. And she even has her monkey. I think his name is Rusty. That is, can just spin the wheel eventually. Yeah, this is from the 3rd expansion, which is like a small box expansion, relatively, compared to that game. My partner and I have been playing a fair bit of Arnak recently. Mechanics is a lot of fun. Yeah. I think they just announced a new small expansion today, where it's just like a bunch of cards, just like items and a couple locations. Since the size doubles every 3rd flip, how big can you make Hyper Geo and Dewey? MTG had meld cards where half the card was on the flip side and the other card that melded together, so 2 cards can meld into a bigger card. Oh, cool. Flesh and Blood has split cards. I know like Magic the Gathering has split cards too. I hate these split cards. And I think it's because Netrunner has like broken me. How the hell do you read this? The text is the wrong way. And like obviously in New Zealand where this card is printed, the text is the other way, so maybe it's a bit more easy. But every time card text is written on a sideways card in Netrunner, it's slanted down up, not up down. I can't read this. But like if you look at Netrunner Ice, every time there's horizontal text, it goes down up, not up down. My brain is broken at reading card text in this orientation. And there's been a couple card games where like I cannot figure out how to read cards like this. Andre cannot handle Alt Art Ice. No, Alt Art Ice is fine. That's how I feel about Promo Ice. Yeah, Promo Ice is hard to read, but like Netrunner, Alt Art, like, I don't know, Drafter. Is it actually written like this? I think it's the other way. Oh no, it's written like this. You're right. Yeah, you're right. It is upside down. The thing is I don't have to read that card anymore. The thing that's unfortunate is like this is ultimately like the card that should have the most reading on it because it's functionally two different cards and they don't often have synergies between the two sides. And there's a whole bunch of like different ones. There's like a lot of them. Just rotate the card. Yeah, but then you tell your opponent you have one of these in your hand and then they know. It's no different with Ice, but like then they know. And then for accessibility during a stream, and mind you, the Flesh and Blood streams are actually really quite good for accessibility. They do have card overlays. This shows up in the card overlay in the corner, but they don't rotate it. So like I can't read it. It's in the corner of my phone and I have to like, I don't get it. Learn what your cards do? No, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm watching a stream. I don't play the game. Rotate all of your cards. Okay, I'm just going to rotate my deck. I hate Altered Ice and JNet, but I don't find it too bad in person. I have no idea what the meta looks like. And I've seen some online tournaments recently where like the caster hasn't chosen to hide alt art cards. And I do. I just like inherently hide alt art cards for the sake of the stream for accessibility. I'm assuming at this point, like the majority of people are playing with alt arts, but like, yeah, on the Metropole Grid, you just don't see alt arts. With Ice, I think it also helps that it's installed sideways so you can peek at it freely after installing it. You cannot do this kind of thing in Magic. Yeah, you can't. You cannot show that you have this in your hand. You leak some information for sure. It feels bad. I do know Magic has like alt art cards, or sorry, split cards that are actually split like the normal way, the conventional portrait way, where like the split is on the bottom. I know they do have these sort of splits too, but they also have splits that are like landscape, don't they? Magic. Portrait split cards. That's not gonna work, is it? Maybe I'm making it up, but I'm pretty sure there's split cards that only the text box is split at the bottom. I have all arts on. It's just raw plus EV. I like looking at them. I don't know how we got here, but yeah, I have no idea actually how we got there. For what it's worth, I really appreciate that you don't include alt arts because whenever I watch other in-person play content, I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, it's tricky. Like I like that we can support artists, of course I do, but it's hard on JNet and in person. So the casters have to put in a lot of effort behind the scenes to like do deck checks with people to check their alt arts. It is like part of the you know what we do as casters, and obviously it's so you know what's going on. Read your normal card sideways as a bluff. I think that's what you have to do. I think you have to read everything sideways. I'm doing comps for an in-person tournament soon. I'm looking forward to trying to figure out what people's alt art. Yeah, Komodo, if you can do it, and it is a fair bit of work, is you want to run over to the table, and if you have two casters, each person looks at a deck, and you just ask the person like, hey, are there any alt arts that I might not be familiar with? And then you can thumb through their deck really quickly. You want to be very clear that you don't accidentally reveal information and be like, oh, wow, cool snare or something like that. But you just want to look at them and have an idea and then go back to the booth. Usually we have two people that do that at like Worlds. Sometimes one person does it for both sides, and then they can come in, and when a card shows up, it can be like, oh, I know that's a spin doctor or whatever. I don't know why, but I feel like there's a lot of overlap with top tables where people don't play. Maybe that's not the case, but like there's not an absurd amount of alt arts at top tables of Worlds last year. A lot of them is like the official stuff, and to some extent, some competitive tournaments, people feel a pressure when they're playing for the top cut to play more and more like of the known, either most commonly known or some of the official alt arts, just because it feels like you can angle shoot slightly. I think one of the fun things with the alt arts is watching a UK event stream and knowing every alt art versus watching an international event stream and having no idea what half the cards are. I agree. I watch from like here, and I don't know half of the UK cards for sure. MTG Adventure and Prepared cards. What's that, Kimmel? Casters have it so hard. /J, shut up. Okay, this is the EMEA Online Megacity. I had the pleasure of streaming this alongside Gail Har. I was doing commentary for like only the final 2 rounds. Otherwise, Lunari was on. I wasn't able to watch the finals, which was on Sunday, but we had some really good rounds on Saturday as well. So again, this is in the 2605 meta, so the new meta changes haven't mattered. In terms of the top cut, we have a lot of Pudma, a fair bit of Pudma too. So there's like a 1 out of every 3 players is playing Pudma. No, that's not right. 1 of every 10 players is playing Pudma. And then Lu and Moosey Hot. Shaper has kind of calmed down a wee bit. We'll see if they convert. And then Melius is more than, you know, it's a third of the field. And followed by Nuveng. Elio, I think, came in second at the event. There's actually a couple Elios in the top cut, which is kind of cool. And I think it's Wiki in the top cut as well. Ayuko being that far down is a bit odd. I think it's quite good. And then NBN probably doing nothing. Interesting. Nuveng last weekend after the deck list of the week really disappointed. I think most people that brought it out. I think the Nuveng deck is good and interesting, but it's a bit harder to play. And then in terms of the top cut itself, Minstrel once again playing like 150 different Netrunner cards. I believe taking this event on an op that is like 64 cards and a Maggie that's like 70 cards. I don't think it's too different than the deck list that he posted that he played at the Showdown, I think. And followed by Phoenix Rogue, who's a local, who's playing an LEO and a Moosely Hut deck, who's just gotten back into the game, I think, this year, which is great. And then like very, very funny. Half the top 8 is Milius, half the top 8 is Lou. It's kind of like, what do you expect? I don't know. Again, we're not going to be diving too much into this. Shout out to the Pudma that made it. But yeah, kind of what do you expect, as much as 2 LEOs is not totally reasonable. Also, a bunch of these players played at really weird time zones. Like I know Phoenix woke up and played at like 2 in the morning here from Quebec, which that's pretty hardcore. Shouting to Dallas. I mean, I think this might be the biggest event in Texas history, but I could be totally wrong about that. I don't think we've ever seen a Megacity that far south, which is good that there's a thing. Lat being commonly represented. Seb actually showing up a fair bit. I'm assuming Seb won the event. Seb usually wins the event when the Seb shows up to an event. Citation needed, but I think Seb is really good. And then this is also not surprising. PD did not show up at the last event at EMEA, as much as I think playing it online is a fair bit easier because it just has your deck count next to you. And then Ayuko's Wiki, and then some Nebula. In terms of the top cut here, like we're probably cut top 8. There was like 30. How many players were here today? 32 players, not bad. And then in terms of the top cut, it's a top 8. Melius and Maggie. Again, the top cut is only 2 Meliuses. We got finally a Nuveng that converted, and we have a Zwicky, which is really cool. On this side, yeah, interesting. Azaya, that's kind of cool. Neat. 2 Vix, also interesting. Not sure exactly what they're doing, but yeah, good for them. It's great. Actually, it was at 4 a.m. Hey, Phoenix, congrats. 4 a.m. Yeah, that was the start time here. And like for streaming, it's like commentaries. Like I could do the last 2 rounds. Everything else is way too early. I have a parity counter I keep with me, and I flip every time I draw an odd number of cards. Yeah, I reckon that's worth doing for sure. Pretty hyped about the Hangoon deck. Excited to try out a more agenda-heavy Rush Bangoon instead of the more Glacier version. I have done some like fishbowl draws with it. I'm going to play it today at locals. It does look a lot of fun. MTG Adventure and Prepared cards are the ones with the portrait split. Oh, Prepared are from one of the newer sets. Okay, thank you. Still devastated by my last game at EMEA. Zam, what was it? It was fun to watch you play. I forget exactly what that match was. But there were some really interesting close games that you were playing. I think we got to see 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have the Bristol Megacity. So we had a lot of UK players who actually went down to France, to Lille. So that doesn't mean there wasn't some strong players here playing, and of course they were. Again, this is pre-ban list. Arasana being about nearly a quarter of the field, 1 in 5 players is pretty wild. I do think Arasana did well, and I do think this is like in the hood of Baramwu, which is great. Also Captain Pudma to get a bit of that, UK flavor in there. I don't know. I don't think Dullbub was actually playing Pudma. I think he was playing Stealth Anarch, Stealth Lou, but really interesting. And the UK has its own meta usually, right? Like it's not surprising to see like Zaya and stuff like that up here. So the UK kind of does things a bit differently. And then we have Melius followed by Nuvem, followed by Ayuko, and then Ob is actually sneaking in there. There's a whole bunch of folks who I know from the UK who play Ob and like Ob, which is great. So not super surprising, but again, about a third of the field playing Melius. Whether this is their last ride or not, it looks like it kind of is. Top cut. A lot of Ayuko, a lot of Jinteki. We have 2 Melius, mind you, Echo taking it with Graduation Day, which I did look at this. This is like super, super conventional. It's just like Melius Glacier. That's not too different than like what Rotom and what Sleeper were playing at the weekends before. Notably, it has Cultivate. This is the list I was looking at. I don't think I've seen Cultivate too commonly in a Melius deck to give some consistency, which is nice, especially because we're on 3 Petty Cash, which is not super common, but not uncommon with Melius. So you can discard them. The interesting things about this list, like the Genda Suite is, the conventional Glacier Genda Suite, I think largely, not so much Send a Message. But we're on 3 Red Room, which is a unique card, and it's an interesting card because you need to have this rezzed and protected and then like keep scoring and pushing in remote server. Let Them Dream can set that up aggressively if you want to keep pushing on top of La Costa. And then we have 3 Event Horizon, which is a lot. That's a lot of Event Horizons. This is the card that I'm not like really quick to go to 3 of in any deck because the face check on it is not stellar in the early game. If they do not install a breaker, which face checking is a bit risky, they generally have to pay like 3 credits to get through this. But if they do install a breaker, and it's usually their Sentry breaker they install first, maybe they install like a Fractor, then they have to pay 3 to 6, which at least that's a good face check. Interesting. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of ice. Like 16 ice is not a huge amount, but maybe Cultivate helps. But I think you're going to inherently need more ice to protect the Red Room. But like, hey, this worked out, which is great. First a Bristol Megacity. Like, what can I say? That's pretty cool. On the other side, Fortune Cookie. I think we saw a lot of good sub decks this weekend. Yeah, and even last weekend, I think we saw some good sub decks, but it's a 3 transfer, boomerang, buffer drive. Cool. Looks reasonable. Seems good. Event Horizon, Rip Sam Neil. Yeah. Yeah. It's not too surprising to me that Nuvang didn't convert that well, given the massive and immediate runner side anti-rush correction. It helps that Ari also plays well into Melias. The Seb downplay continues to chug along. Hey, Beether, what do you mean? You know me. I think Seb is one of the best decks in the format. It still is. People decided to stop playing it. I don't know why. I think it's going to be better in the ban list. I think losing. I think also like what's his name? Minstrel I think posted a Seb list if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, Matuszek did for the Polish event like last weekend, and Matuszek posted this. It was like, yeah, it's a good Seb deck, and I do think Seb has been the best ID in the format for the last like year. It's just people don't play it anymore, and you know Melius probably was an issue. Sometimes I just desperately want to believe that I'm not missing out when I regularly miscut. You say that, but I don't think I played a single good game in Netrunner. Every game was a blowout one way or another. Oh, I saw your report, Lucy, if I'm not mistaken, about some really some bad beats for sure. King Solomon posted this list. This is like the Dirt Eater archetype in Vic. I think we played a list similar to this a couple days ago. King Solomon plays some really cool, like good criminal pressure decks. So I always like want to pay attention to what King is playing. I'll be honest, I don't understand Dirt Eater at all. We put a lot of attempts into it and I do not get it. I do not understand the archetype. I don't understand why you're spending so much influence to do things that don't seemingly matter. It's neat though. Cool. Fizzarum is neat. We have 2 prognostic, which is the big part about this list that I think I really quite like. But we're on more conventional, like we're not playing lily pad and stuff like that. 2 Marjana as a rising tide instead of 3. Yeah, it's cool. Very, very cool. There's a Bangoon that snuck in. I think Harmonby was near top of Swiss for most of the day that I was tuning in. I think just in second place there behind AMS, which like that's awesome. And at the end of the day, yeah, 2 Arasan is just coming slightly behind. Bahram also posted his list. It was not on deep dive, which I was very surprised to see because Bah has played some really interesting aggressive deep dive Arasan is. So cool. Shout out. This looked like a killer event. A lot of people. I don't know if we're gonna see any of the interesting local prize support here. I don't think we are. Andre doesn't want to eat dirt. What a joke. And then Lil, which I think had some of the most interesting results because a lot of the results here were very off meta. Like so far, everything we've seen before is like what we expect with a bit of a slant. And I think it's way more pronounced here because a bunch of players from a testing group that's been around for a long time, a very boomer testing group called NWE, New World Order, had this Bangoon deck that a bunch of players brought to this event. And I think like 3 of them converted into the top cut. I want to shout New World Order has a YouTube channel. I really hope, oh, that's not a good search. I really do hope that they put out some content to talk about how to play this deck. And they've had some really good like content on their channel explaining through some of their very, very interesting decks. Can I not find it? I thought I used to find it. Okay, if I find the link, I'll add it, but I used to be able to find it by just searching that. Regardless, yeah, nearly half the tournament's playing Glue. I mean, sure, followed by Arsana, and Arsana has been converting so far good in the UK, and some of these might be some of the UK players that also traveled down together, which a lot of people traveled in for this. And then we actually don't see Melias being the top, which is super odd. It's close, but we followed by Precision Design and then into New Vang. And then this part is the Bangoon, which I think all 4 players might be from the same testing group. And I think Bangoon had an absurd conversion rate, which is 3 out of 4 players made the top 8. Some really great players on top of that, of course. So very difficult event. Just to see the top 8. Firstly, Méchant Greg is known for playing editorial, the editorial player that won an event, I think a district earlier in France. Did go over to Epiphany. I'm not sure if that's like an admission of that this deck is not super consistent, but regardless, played some good NBN. I think some of the best NBN we've seen all weekend based off of standings. We do have a bunch of the Lus converting, but the big thing is this Bangoon deck, which we can see posted. And a lot of these players, again, Lost Geek off 15-15, Pincel, and I think there was one more player who was playing that list, but I might be wrong about that. But like, look how killer this top list is. Like all these players, you probably know their names from like Circuit Breakers, World's Top 16s, just like absurdly good players. So very, very, very hard field to play in. The one we want to look at is Hangoon, which I think we'll be able to play this next week. I'm excited to play this today in paper. I have it sleeved up, but it is a Bangoon deck that is playing many small agendas, but it's actually pushing them into remote server very, very aggressively. And I've never seen a deck that's on 3 Tucana, 2 Malapert, and very importantly, 3 digital rights management, which is like such a cool card. The idea of this deck is, at least from my fishbowling, you want to just put small agendas on the table, constantly use your Bangoon text and put it behind a piece of ice. You can digital rights management and install that agenda, which means you actually can use Malapert to grab an agenda functionally, as long as the runner hasn't ran HQ. So the idea is that the runner doesn't run HQ, you score an agenda, use Malapert, you play Malapert for DRM, you jam the next agenda, and you constantly push yourself forward until you're on 3 points, in which a single score out on top of a Malapert wins the game on Myoshu. The deck doesn't look like it has a lot of money. I think it does get there for the money. It does have, again, some economic agendas, like Saxzone usually gives you 6 credits. Green Mail is neutral. Of course, Tucana gives you ice cheaply and tutors, which is nice. You have to protect your remote server and HQ a bit, especially if they see you're on your DRM. And then R&D is how you can lose, but at least you have a shuffle effect. But very, very cool. My guess is this deck was going to fall apart a bit during Top Cut, because notably Bangoon gives meat damage and tags, and this deck has no actionable tag punishment outside of the predicted planogram. So I do think people playing into this are going to learn what to do with that, but it has some like really surprising lines, particularly in Swiss, right? Like the idea that you can seamless advance a Saxzone on a single advancement, then fire the Malapert to get the Myoshu and just win on the spot is like definitely going to get people off guard. The write-up even talks about this like really, really funny line, which I think you have to be on like 5 points. You can score out a green mail, use green mail, score out a green mail, use that to go grab a Bioac, use the Bioac, res it with Tucana, use the res to forfeit the green mail to reduce the cost and actually go up credits. And then you can use those up credits to score out the Myoshu, which is super, super goofy. My discipline is using pinhole and HQ isn't available is finally paying off. Yes, yeah, exactly. That's something we've been talking about on this channel. If you can pinhole any server, if HQ is open, always go HQ. Also, another thing about this deck that probably isn't going to help in open deck lists is when there's upgrades face down in the remote server with Bangoon, you can't tell if they're going to be like Angelique's or Daniela's or anything awful like an Amaze Amusement. And this list, actually, the upgrades, you just need to trash them, but they're not going to hurt you. So the remote server is only as bad as its text is with relevance to measured response, and that's it. And I still think it can get there. This does rush out. It does rush out for sure. And the write-up even says like this might not be the most well-positioned deck, but the players who played this really enjoyed it and thought it was really fun. And of course, they're not some of the best players, like just period, but they're still doing quite well with this. And it looks like a great time. I'm very excited for this next week and to play it tonight. Yeah, cool. Bangoon seems so fun to build around. It's weird. It's like, so I've classically played a fair bit of Bangoon. I brought Bangoon to Crown of servers last year and had a good time with it. But I was playing, it was not Quesadilla's list, right? Where he was playing more big agendas. And the problem with the Bangoon with big agendas is your ability, like if they stole 6 points, your ability was mostly blank. But at least with this agenda suite, like outside of the real 2-pointers, the runner has to touch a lot of agendas. Ideally from the remote server, but just saying like you have to run the remote server, you have to get through ice. My Tucana probably still fires. You only get 1 point, and mind you, you have no problem installing a green mail face up. And then you have to take 2 meat damage and a tag. Like that is the proposition you're putting up. Yeah, it was my list exactly with Daniela and Phonotria, and I really enjoyed that. But the problem was that matchup, if you lost 2 3-pointers early, you lost like a Basalt, the game was over. And at least with the 1-pointers, like the game is going to consistently matter, and Bangoon will matter for longer. And you'll be on threat 4 for longer too, which is kind of cool. It's like the opposite, which is so interesting to see like the counter kind of approach to this, because Bangoon is in some ways a reference or like an homage to Argus, not Argus Crackdown, but Argus Security. And Argus Security just says whenever the runner steals an agenda, they choose to either take a tag or 2 meat damage. Now, Bangoon does face up agendas, which is good for a couple reasons into like Hermes, but this is both. Now, generally with Argus, people looked at this and be like, okay, well, the good way to make this fire super consistently is to play a lot of 1-pointers. And then people realized the all 1-pointers Argus deck, outside of that one deck that some people know for good reasons, was a bit of a meme. And it just like was bad for a bunch of different reasons in the format at the time. And so you were pretty much just playing like a rush deck, like a conventional modernism rush deck where you ran 2-pointers and then like global food. And I think a lot of people translated that over to Bangoon, where like, while we did see some 1-pointer Bangoon decks, some of them were a bit goofy. It is cool to kind of see the Argus thing kind of wrapped backwards, where it's like, actually, what about if you do just play a lot of 1-pointers, but you don't asset spam them? You just kind of put them out in the remote server and say, deal with it. I want to ask, did the Nuvum decks count as super modernism? I don't think the answer matters, but if we look at Jai's, I would say probably not. Let me just find Jai's really quickly. So like the textbook definition of modernism is a threat of meat damage. Okay. A threat of program destruction. No. And it's, I mean, I just don't think measured response is a modernism card. That's the issue. Like it turns out modernism measured usually plays out as like a mid-range, maybe rush, but it's basically an inevitability engine. It's usually not like a push your luck card. It is weird because it's way more plotting. So, I mean, like, I guess you could play it like that, but I wouldn't say it exactly is. So maybe. It's what no Ashen Epilogue does to a meta to some extent, but I don't think the decks are getting ground out. Like I do think the Bangoon deck wants to win by turn 14, turn 12 maybe. I don't know. I'd have to play it a bit more, but it doesn't want to like grind you out. Coffee all over myself. Give me 1 second. How's everyone doing? Otherwise, we had a pretty big rainstorm here the other day, and I had the window open, and then I come in and I'm like, wait a second, it's just like raining straight inside the place. That's not good. Everything was fine, but could be worse. All right, I think that's mostly it for the recap of this weekend. Yeah, I think we've went through everything we want to. Oh no, we didn't talk about this one, have we? No, we did. Yeah. With that, let's try and do some deck building for the new format. I want to try to do something that's a bit, ambitious, maybe. I want to play some Reality Plus. I think it's going to be a bit weird out here because some people are preparing for Megacities, so they want to play 2605, but we'll label our lobby as 2608. So with that, if you're not familiar, we put a video this weekend. There's a lot of great content where people are responding to it, or responding to the ban list, not the video. But in short, Reality Plus is unbanned, Svi is unbanned. I think that's going to be really important. Melee SU is banned. Pretty happy about that. And red level clearance being banned is obviously a mixed bag, but it will help in the short run for sure. So with that, let's try and build a Reality Plus deck. Where are the Dewey decks? In the binder? Broken Heart. I mean, I should play more Dewey because it's fun, but I think at this point where we got a new ban list, we probably want to experiment with it. Are there any online Continentals? Yes, they're not announced, but I believe No Signal Games has promised that every tier of event will have an online version of it. Let me just double check to make sure I'm right about that. No Signal Games online Continentals. I don't know if the dates have been set. Maybe they have been. But they usually just make sure everything besides Worlds has an online component. Which for me, that's the easiest way to get involved. But yeah, so in-person Continentals, I'm saying if they're saying that online is a given. So this upcoming, not this weekend, but the next weekend is the American Continentals, which will have the new ban list. This is at Cascadia, which is being ran by Abraham, and it's going to be a killer event. Cascadia has always been awesome. EMEA Continentals is in Nottingham in the end of August, and then early September is the APAC Continentals in Melbourne. Our online Continentals should exist, no? Yeah, so they're running online Continental Championship for the APAC Americas, but we're still finalizing online event dates. It should be easier in some ways to organize these because it's hard to organize online Megacities because there's Megacities every weekend. But yeah, I don't think we have the dates yet, but they should be coming out for sure. Right, but it's just better in lat. Dewey needs more support like Phoenix. Her ID is so clunky with normal cards, especially compared to lat efficiency. I think if Dewey just started on her other side, she'd be a lot better. I think if a KK just said once per turn, it would be a lot better. But I don't think I really need Dewey to be better. Dewey's already really fun. That is one of the problems with this channel is like oftentimes we talk more about what's competitive in Netrunner, but when we played Dewey and just had the most fun, it was the most fun. And maybe Dewey's a winner because if we can run more because there's no Melius, maybe Dewey's a bit more consistent. Yeah. Okay, so thing that we want to build. We want to build... Let's go try and build a Reality Plus deck, which I think on JNet's a bit awkward because if you find it in standard, it shouldn't be here. Oh, sorry, switch to corp. It shouldn't be here because the ban is not legal. So you just want to go to all and then you have to like dig it out yourself. Right? Wait, why not? Oh, sorry, this all. So we need to dig it out here. So Reality Plus. Was there a mention that the absolute drama of how they ran out of tickets for Worlds yet? No. Wait, Phil, is that true? Early bird is over. Are the ticket sales like full up? Fortunate that the World's ban list update will be announced the week before Melbourne Continentals. Oh, I don't think that's unfortunate. I think that's by design, Hexnet. Like all of the ban lists are meant to be between seasons, just like the Continentals ban list is announced while we still had 2 weekends of Megacities. That's like intentional. They were not trying to get, like they inherently want every single Continental to have the same ban list, just for the sake of like, balance in terms of everyone having the same opportunity to prepare for it. Dewey's fun, I agree, but I've seen players that enjoy that kind of fun, myself included, get tired doing the backflips necessary to get a credit of value. I mean, if you don't want to do a backflip, I wouldn't play Dewey, right? I've always been tempted to build Dewey now that Deep Dive was unbanned. Interesting. I don't know if I've like reached to Deep Dive as being the big reason to play Dewey. I think I would be more incentivized to go towards things like Conduit and things that actually encourage you to run a lot for obvious reasons. World sold out? Fuck off. Really? I thought they would say that if World sold out, they would add more tickets. How do we know World sold out? How many tickets does World sell out? Because at the venue they are here in Montreal, they said if they sold out, they might be able to get a bigger space. What does anybody know about this? You change the ban list once at the deck building, our art plays show up, so I just select another ID to start. Oh yeah, you could do it in the deck builder. That makes sense. Okay, so what do we want to do here? This is the first time each turn the runner takes a tag, gain 2 credits to draw 2 cards. That's a very powerful ability. Yeah, they're trying to get more space. Okay, cool. Do you know how many tickets they sold? I think it was probably like 300. That's really good. I always expect, unfortunately, that North American worlds will be less attended than European worlds. I think it's just easier to travel in Europe. More people are willing to travel from country to country as opposed to yeah. So that's really good to hear. Even the Palais could not contain our numbers. Even the triple flip deep dive turn would feels good. I mean, it does, but like it's the one turn you don't need that value because you're probably going to win the game. I mean, more so that the results of Melbourne will have no impact on the world's ban list because it will be announced the week prior. Oh yeah, I hear you. I mean, yeah, that is what it is. I think there's still like I don't know the exact timing, but maybe there is. It's like the same thing here is the Continentals ban list does not care about America's online megacity, and it's okay. We'll probably have enough information. Okay, so the ban list article talked about Rush NBN Reality Plus. We're just pushing agendas in a remote server and we can't unban Off-World Office. I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't think I want to do that. I want to try like full assets to see how it goes. And like full assets is actually pretty good because a lot of the ice that you want to play assets or to support assets has the tag clause on it in NBN. So for instance, and it's like not actually real text because they'll never take it, but if they ever face check into our neutral ice that I can never remember the name of, Lamplighter, like that's good text. Now they probably won't take the tag, but this is a 3 credit hard end the run. Sorry, soft end the run. If they can't pay it up front. And if they're paying this, they might not be able to trash the thing. And that's the idea. Like ping 3 of, as Chad is saying, is like so good. It's a free res, gives us tempo, and we can use this. And ultimately, I think we're going to be a flood the market deck. I want to see what we did when we last played Synapse. I think we were still in 3 flood the market. It might not be totally correct, but now at least, well, Synapse gave us click compression for installs. We'll instead get click compression for draws or click compression for monies, and monies is a bit better. A sleeper, please add Cloud Eater. I don't think I'm going to because we're playing full horizontal. Cloud Eater is definitely a bit better, but like Empirus is also maybe even just fine. I don't know. 3 Oppo in the deck, yeah. Oppo now is also like such an easy tempo play for us because we can play a free Oppo. That means B1001 is a bit better, for sure it is. We have a lot of ice, but I think B1 might be a 2 of, not a 3 of. I just want to check really quickly what our Synapse was because I think our Synapse might have been playing Off-World Office at the time. My decks. Synapse. The other thing that you can do, stinky hype, is that you can play, what's it called? You can play the Nilo agent, and the Nilo agent does give you 2 credits. The only bad thing is like giving bad publicity to your opponents is pretty bad when you play NBN assets. But this says when your discard phase ends, give the runner a tag. So you do gain 2 credits, which is cool because you also do this on your turn, and your turn outside of Oppo is the hardest turn to do this. Magistrates? Yeah, we probably do play Magistrate. I don't think I did in this deck, and I'm not sure why. Is this the most modern version of this? What's your punishment if they go tag me? We generally play like 1 IP enforcement, 1 bigger picture. Like we play like Epiphany does. We even can have some of our agendas interact with that. So this might not be the most modern one I played. Hold on. A Synapse. This doesn't feel that modern. This is in February. Yeah, this can't be it. Stinky hype. Huh. There's no magistrate in this? This is weird. Okay, whatever. We'll figure it out together. It'll be fine. Yeah, Revanchelet's good. It's really good. It makes things harder to deal with. For assets, Magistrate, Revanchelet, and Public Access Plaza. Yeah, Public Access got a lot better. I'll be honest, people generally didn't trash this in the first place. But when trashing this gives you a tag and the corporation 2 credits or 2 card draw on a board state where you haven't gotten a tag yet, it's a lot harder to deal with. And we're going to need that. I think we play 3 fully operationals, but we could be wrong about that. Like you might not actually want this. Just hide Magistrate Cohort behind Cloud Eater for 8 credits. I mean, Cohort's really good too. I think we probably play it. We still have a fair bit of influence, but like Cohort's one of the best cards to like just push you forward, and that really does matter. Let's look at the agendas before we go too deep into this. So things that we can play. We'll play tomorrow's headline because it's good no matter what. We could even play Stink Tanks because Stink Tanks is just really annoying. It's just very, very annoying against the runner. They can choose not to hit this if we have a Revanchelet, but like ultimately that's probably okay for us. We'll just earmark one of them. Don't know if you play Next Big Thing. It feels like pretty rough sometimes to play this. It's nice to have a couple of these to like fix hands, but I do think we're probably closer to an Epiphany deck that wants to play like a lot of smaller agendas and then just kind of push yourself forward, including like maybe playing copies of the neutral Let Them Dream. Crypto Crash is also good, but it felt less and less relevant in a meta, or sorry, alongside Magistrate Revanchelet. Because like losing 3 credits and losing 10 credits, it's like those are very different numbers, but sometimes just losing 3 credits is enough. Also, this is not a bad card, Witch Hunt. Like, giving 3 tags and then gaining 2 credits off of this, I mean, the bad publicity is the bigger issue. Lethe. So Lethe is weird too, because Lethe only gives you the credit refund if they break all the subroutines, which they might not. So you actually have to res this, Matt, for 9, right? Flopstein's really not worth it here since you already have draw a lot. I think off of Reality Plus, we're going to be getting credits more than not. And at the end of the day, like, this is basically just fire your ability as many times as you can. I think inherently if we were like playing into flood the market, it'd be weird not to play fully op, but maybe we could play 2 of these. Doing any upgrade behold shenanigans? I don't think we need to, but like Holloman is probably one of our win conditions because I think we're going to be better at playing Holloman than we're going to be at playing the other thing. Yeah. What's a new upgrade that gives you 1 off counter if they stole last turn? That might be okay as an FA option. 1 off encounter if they stole last turn. 1 off encounter. I don't know actually. 1 off encounter? Wait, what does that mean? Are you thinking of a red room? Yeah, Hype Machine we can play, and we've played before. Wage Workers is also not a bad card for this sort of deck, because we have a lot of 4/2s, and Wage Workers is just pretty good with Hype Machine. The last time we played this, we played with Hype Machine. Hype Machine is really good in Synapse, because installing this when they steal an agenda. So the idea is with Synapse, they steal Think Tank, they get a tag, they remove the tag last click, and then you put a free Hype Machine on the table. I mean, that also could be reasonable. Yeah. 1 off advance that's got it. Yeah, like this was the thing that in Synapse made a fair bit of sense. I don't know if it's going to be perfect here. So we have to figure out whether we want to play Hype Machine or Holloman or some combination thereof. But like if they steal it and they take a tag, we're way less good at delivering the Hype Machine than Synapse was. Because Synapse, installing this, you just res it, you're good. Okay, shipment from Vlad. Probably play 1 copy of Big Picture, but I haven't been super impressed with Big Picture. Is it not called Big Picture? Bigger Picture, got it. Flood for 4 and Embedded, fetch a new Flood is pretty good. Yeah, you're right. Embedded is actually really good in this list, and we played Embedded a lot when we liked it. It grabs you your Flood or your fully operation. Like, Embedded is quite nice. It's easy to score off Holloman. It's easy to score off Wage Workers and have a click. With Wage Workers, we kind of want to consider playing Regolith. That's not a bad card. Amaze, I don't think we need to. I don't know. I'm not convinced about this. Like, I think the way the runner's going to get tags is with our ice and with oppos. I don't know if we have to play cards like Behold or Amaze. For non-3-pointers, might rather have Seamless over Holloman? Maybe, but we like installing cards, like behind stuff. Feels like we have too many operations for a flood flop here, but it could be wrong. I think we might. I think there's a chance that we don't play Bigger Picture. We play maybe even 2 floods if we want to. And we could even like, yeah, move a lot of our tag punishment to B1001s. And we could also play what's it called? Freedom of Information. So that could be good. Federal fundraising, balance coverage. They're not very good in this list all the time. Not always, because flood the market and fully operational require you to ice those cards. Federal fundraising is a lot better when it's not iced. Not that it's awful, but it's a lot better when it's uniced. And balance coverage is just not that great if you don't have the top of your deck. What did the humble spin doctor? I mean, I'll consider it. This is a fine number of operations. I don't think I want to go more than this. Let's look at, oh, what are we doing? Let's look at some ice that we can play. So anything with the word tag is now a bit more interesting in the modern format. So not all of it has to end the run. VSA is not as good as it used to be. I think we're seeing less Audrey than we have in a bit, but like it still is good text for us. If they face check and do this, they take a tag, they lose a credit, and we draw 2 cards or gain 2 credits. It's free. Probably not Facilisa. Unsmiling Cerebin is also not bad. I think the Sentry now we're kind of more encouraged to play Doom Scroll. It doesn't keep people out ultimately, but we don't always need them to come out. And like this is a card that was never balanced around Reality Plus. A 1 credit Doom Scroll is kind of like nonsense. Funhouse is also like one of the better cards. And like, unless you're playing against Shaper or someone who has a Phaserum, Funhouse is just a nightmare, or Airblades. And I think this is what I'm gonna be dreading is playing Criminal. I don't have a good way to deal with Funhouse in Reg Crim. Ping is good, Piranhas. Doesn't give a tag, does it? Oh, you can remove a tag, yeah, right. Seraph. I mean, you could res a Seraph for 8. It's okay. Jaguarundi is a lot of influence for core damage we don't care about. At least 1 Starlight Knight seems right. I mean, Starlight Knight is usually one of his okay because it is another one of your like tag punishment cards. It is a hard end to run. And even when you res a Starlight Knight for 3 credits and they get 2 tags, like it's a good face check. Unfortunately, here we have too many sentries. You also could see us playing a single copy of Grubber for the remote server for like our our capstone ice, like the ice that we score behind. I don't know what else we would play. Like a lot of these cards are influence. Phonotria is not guaranteed to hit its text. It usually doesn't if they face check without a refractor or killer. Vixek is combo. Empiricist and Cloud Eater are the same influence, and I don't know if we have the money for it. HB, we only have Jaguar, which we do not care about core damage. So I don't care about this face check. Technically, resing this for 2 is like cute, but again, if you don't care about core damage is usually not worth pursuing. Some of these cards are actually pretty good. Like Pharaohs for 5 credits is not bad. Valen Chow doesn't really matter. Hammer for 4 is also not awful if the meta calls for it, and that's fine. I think that's mostly it. Yeah, Lamplighter. FTP is actually pretty decent. Strength 5 is no joke. Yeah, they usually pay through it, so it's up to you to like build a board state in which they can't pay for it. Which like it's not a bad card. Like they break this for 4. On face check, they always pay 2 for this, so your text is not relevant, and so they usually face check for 4. Fly Swatter probably. I mean, maybe. We'll see if we're losing to viruses before it matters. So I need combo with Sphy and Nihilo Agent where you sell the Nihilo Agent before the Nihilo takes their tag off. Yeah, Huckleberry, how's it going? There's some really cool things you can do in this deck with Nihilo, especially now we have Reality Plus. We could try it and see if it works out. I'm not 100% convinced it's going to be the best thing to do, but we can do it. We need more agendas. We need to hit only 18 agenda points. Oh, we can play 44. Oh my God, we can play 44 in Reality Plus. I forgot about that. That actually might be a lot of operations. I think it's more the Fly Swatter has an ETR. I'm not sure we always need an ETR because our face checks are pretty bad. But honestly, over Fly Swatter, I would probably play White Space in a list like this because the early credits matter way more. I think I'd rather play White Space than Fly Swatter. The question is this better than VSA? And I couldn't tell you. I think testing will tell. VSA is a bit more relevant for a couple of reasons, but White Space does keep people out. This is a lot of centuries. 679, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's a 44 card deck. I totally forgot about that. So like we actually don't have that many slots. Yeah, White Space was so good in these sort of like acid lists. It's totally fallen off. I'm not 100% sure why, but we don't have the sort of like op deck where face checking on turn 1 is important. Nihilo is very bad. It gives like 5 credit profit over 3 turns and the bad pub stays. The bad pub can stay. It depends how you play it. But we have no D-res effect, so yeah, we probably do get rid of it. I mean, Cohort is probably just as good. No Federal? No, Federal you don't want to ice, and inherently our deck wants to ice everything. It's not a bad ability if you ice it, but yeah, I don't think we have to. Ditch Rego and play that R plus money is good enough. I think I'd rather try with Rego, and if we have too much money, we can fix it. Rego is really good with wage workers, for sure. Like, that's a nice combo. You're right that this might not be super necessary, but we'll see where the slots come from. Because our deck has, like, no burst economy whatsoever. And out of our economy assets, it's just public access and NBN Reality Plus, which is not enough money. So, like, we probably should have, like, what's it called? The Predictive Planogram or a YDL or a Cohort. Like, cards on the table that give us money should be good. Like, a Cohort's good. Okay, anyways, we have to fix the agenda suite. We also could spend this influence on 2 copies of Let Them Dream, which might matter. The math on how many points for the Let Them Dreams, I'd have to run the thing to figure out if the math actually matters. We're at 12 agenda points, so we just need like 3 more. We don't have anything cool with Stoke besides, well, actually we don't have any Powers That Be. We might want Powers That Be in here. Powers That Be is really good if you play a hype. Orbital, we could play through a little tempo, just a little cheeky tempo. I mean, maybe we do score the cryptos. By the way, Jana does the transfer R plus ruling wrong? What's the ruling? Eska's funny behind a funhouse? I mean, it is, but then your server is funhouse Eska. I mean, you can use this to poison archives, but like, I don't think it actually matters in the matchup. There's like some incentive to be like, oh, I want to play a card that's really annoying to trash so that people don't trash it. So my floods and fully operations fire. And outside of like playing, and you could, I guess, what's it called? Mutually assured destruction. I'd rather play a card that actually actively does something. Yeah. Yeah. With R plus, it's good. Orbital was bigger picture. Build your own off-world. Bye. How's it going? Congrats on the weekend. I hope you had a good time. Surprised that you were on a deep dive. -3 from transfer happens before the +2 from R plus. Yo, that's sick. That's really good. Guesty Mathtion need the 3rd Let Them Dream to make a difference. They need to steal 2 Let Them Dream to matter. Yeah, probably won't matter unless we play the full play set, which I don't think we can. But like our agenda suite is not beautiful here. This is like the NBN card pool. It's a bit weird. So like Stoke doesn't work. Remastered is okay, but like no one's really excited about this. Like if they just score a remastered edition and have nothing that fires off of it, who cares? So like what do we actually play here? King making, you have to build your whole deck around it. which we're not going to, I don't think. So like freedom is fine. You can play 2 freedoms, I guess. But this is the sort of deck that we want to play off-world. I guess we're like forced on playing 3 crypto, but then you have to score this crypto out cheaply, which is really difficult. I mean, maybe it'll end up in hell anyways. Okay, we have to cut some cards. The card says you take a tag first, so shouldn't R plus trigger before -3? I don't know. I think you finished the sentence though. Take 1 tag and the corp loses 3 credits. So this should happen all at once. If it was take 1 tag, period, the corp loses 3 credits, then you would take 1 tag, reality plus with trigger, but I don't think there's a checkpoint here. I think this is all at once. Yeah, whole sentence needs to happen. At least that's my understanding too, but I'm not, I'd have to look it up. But it's because this is 1 sentence, this happens all at once. So you take a tag, lose 3, and then reality plus triggers before they gain 2 credits, which that text doesn't actually matter, the ordering of that, but that's how it should read, I think. Deck builder. Okay. What do we do here? 3 public access plaza seems like a bit much. I couldn't tell you what ratio we need of assets, things in remote servers to things on the table. We also could not play Holloman and can play Vlad City Grid. And if we play the Vlad Grid, like the, what's it called? The Stoke the Embers is slightly better. Not a lot better, but slightly better. Runner gaining credits happens after the tag, relevant for Seb, but the corp losing credits happens at the same time as the tag. Yeah, they're the same sentence, yeah. We need to cut 3 cards and we still have 2 influence. 3 pings, funhouse, 2 white spaces. This seems like too much ice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 1 in every 4 cards as ice, more than. So that's too much. So I think the Lamplighters are less good than the Doom Scrolls. Maybe we cut all of them. How many ice do we want? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How much ice do we want? I'm not saying this deck was perfect, but this was on 13 ice to 49. This is on 11 ice to 44. Which is not unreasonable. Bite? We have no reason to do damage. If you're going to play Bite, we play Behold. Unless we want to cheese runners. But like Behold makes way more sense because we actually care about giving the runner 2 tags. We don't care about Bite. No Drafter for the flop deck. I mean, Drafter's not bad. Drafter's like not a bad card in these sort of lists for a whole bunch of reasons. The thing is like we have a lot of sentries already, but like Drafter could be it. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think I mind the play X1 cohort because there's like a thing in the remote server that gets us money. I actually think these are the worst draw we have. There's a chance that every single public access plaza should just be a third B1001. This card's really good. It's how we win. And maybe there's a chance that we should be on no Holloman and just full flood the market. Behold is the stinkiest thing you can put in a flopper mode. Tell me about it. Like maybe there's a chance we don't need Holloman, and that's why you can do flood the market and hype. How much ice does PD combo run? But PD combo is definitely different because we actually have to score out for multiple turns. But combo PD runs like 10 ice, 11 ice, I think. I think it's like 11 ice. Hold on, we can do more HB. Because I think it's like 3 barriers, 4 code gates, 3 sentries. 10 ice, yeah. I forgot about the Lacian. My bad. But that being said, we actually have to win the game with our remote servers. We don't just have to like get to a combo. So we have to play a bit more reasonably. Okay, I think this goes. We could save slots by playing 2 5-3s, but then we could lose in 3 accesses. Combo D has more draw. Not much more, but a bit more. Yeah, I guess you have HB more. Like you have humanoid and stuff. 5, 6, 8, 9, 11. Yeah, I don't know. Are there enough tag sources for R plus to matter here? We're going to find out together. I don't know. But the problem is like Synapse didn't matter. And I think there's going to be an upgrade to Synapse because our deck is smaller. People are a bit more reticent to face check. But like all our ice gives tags besides Lamplighters. Oh, the white spaces too don't. I wonder if we should just not play white space and just say everything does tags. The 5-3s immediately turn on Oppo. I mean, they do. And they give us slots. I honestly like wonder, yeah, maybe we don't have enough ways to tag. Like Lamplighter ends the run, but it doesn't give a tag. Doom Scroll does. Yeah, we had VSA and we traded them for white spaces, and maybe the VSA is just like straight better. Just because we need more ways to give tags quickly. Yeah, Funhouse is expensive. I don't know if we want more than one of these, because I think we want one of these on the remote. Maybe you'd want one on HQ against Criminal, but that's the most we probably want. Maybe we cut a Holloman? Like cutting a win condition seems bad, but what does this draw like? Like say they were playing against Lou, this is our opening. Eh. I mean, it's okay. I think we would do like wage workers, ice it up, put a B on the table. Actually, we probably put a spin on the table. Next turn, we have these 3 cards in our hand. So we're not drawing a lot of ice. You might only want 2 floods. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. I think every time I played flood NBN, I've needed 1 fewer than I think I need. Because like you don't want this in your opening hand. You want to draw this eventually. And maybe you could go 3 floods, no Hollow Man, but I could see us going 2-1. That also might be fine. Yeah, I think 2-1 could be okay. But say that we draw this, right? Problem is we don't have any ice here. I don't think we want to do the triple install. We just need to find an ice. No, we didn't. Okay. I also think you're very load-bearing regolith right now. You have no other money. Yes, we have no operational economy, which means maybe, hear me out, we could do this, that we could play another ice. So we just want every ice that like gives a tag. I mean, this card might be good. With all 2 pointers, sure, love single backroom. Yeah, single backroom could be okay. You got the pads for some reason? Yeah, I don't like them that much, the public access. It's like they should trash them immediately. But like we need money quickly. We don't want slow money. I don't know, maybe. I mean, they should come back. They're good. The thing is like they're just a credit a turn. Maybe a credit a turn in a safe server is like worth enough. But now obviously we have issues here. Okay, so we do something like this. Maybe we can try that. So this is our opening. Again, not enough ice. YDL. I mean, it's very easy for us to play a planogram or YDL. The thing is like I can't figure out the slots. Goes with fully op. I mean, I think on the turns that we fully op, unless we're playing 3 operations of the wage workers, we generally have to do the install. I think you generally do fully operation install. I don't know if we're gonna do fully operational YDL ever. Like say this is our opening. Okay, we have probably a plaza behind a lamplighter. We can just put a wage workers on the table, see what happens. If criminal transfers us, we can duck only 3. If we wanted to play against fully criminal, we just put like 3 on the table and full duck. This is what we draw. Okay, that's fine. We would res the public access plaza. We would start by drawing 2. Yeah, we don't have enough ice in these simulations. Humanoid or top down to make the servers faster. I think that's going to come at a high influence cost. And humanoid's not that good for us because we don't have a lot of operations we can play on any turn. Literally any turn. Yeah, I'd consider playing some 5-3 for slots. Like we can cut out 1 this. We can play 2, what are they called? Next big things. And then we have 1 more slot back, which I think we want to play another piece of ice. I think it's going to be harder for people to deal with. 11 ice is low, but not unheard of. Yeah, it's not unheard of. It just does feel low. Like in our simulations, we haven't been drawing well. So this is our opening now. We have no ice. I think I would probably mulligan this, but we top deck an ice, we're fine. Okay, that's really bad. So if this is our hand, it's okay. We just want something for the ice. So this is not bad. We would do like Ice HQ, remote server push against criminal. Then next turn, we can do 1, 2, and we can fully op. We can draw 2, probably draw 2, and then gain 2 credits. We could choose to score this next turn. We probably won't. I think we would just continue to set the table up. I mean, this is reasonable. Result-oriented gaming. I mean, we did like 4 test hands and they were all pretty bad for ice. So I could see it being good. Yeah, I think I could keep this. Put a Doom Scroll in HQ against Anarch, if at all. But otherwise we would do like ping. We do Magistrate with the VSA. We put a ping on a remote server. Maybe going into 3 cards in hand is a bit sketchy. I mean, I don't want to put the next big thing on the table. If we do this into that, gain 2. I mean, that's good. Does B would do anything in this list? I think B is super important in this list. Because we have pings, we have Funhouse, we have VSA, we have Doom Scroll, we have Starlit Night. All of those are the reasons, let alone if you oppo, it's like our win condition. Like I'd actually consider playing B, 3 Bs. I think it's that important. No Nihilo, no Warlock. I mean, we could try it in the public access plaza slot, but like the bad publicity seems really, really bad. Need more tag punishment? Yeah, maybe. That's why I think B is really important. Our tag punishment is 2 Bs, 1 freedom, 1 starlit, 1 shipment. That might not be enough, but I think we're gonna find out. Flood, fully R us. Okay. 1 freedom is not enough. Yeah, we were on 2. The thing is like I don't want to have this in my opening hand. Our agendas are really low on tempo. It's like 1 crypto crash, 3 embedded. Maybe we should be on more crypto crashes because they swing the game over, but I can't tell. Ideally, she's slightly more draw than the simulation from the runner, running ping, etc. I think with ping, we usually will get credits, but it's cool that we can do card draw for sure. And that will matter for a fully op deck. But we'll give it a shot. I mean, we got to start somewhere. New corp deck. Okay, I guess I'm going to label this as new meta, just in case people don't know. Do we have to do this in casual? I guess we have to do this in casual, right? Or is it going to yell at us? Hey, Ducklin. Have a feeling we'll be broke? Maybe. I think Vic is going to be a really bad matchup. And I think Ducklin might be playing Vic. Ion missed. Oh, Baz. Neat. So there's going to be a lot of instant tag removal with Baz's text. All right, we're expecting like boomerang transfer as soon as turn 1. But Baz will probably be relying on the underdomes. Thanks, you too. So we don't have a lot of things to duck against transfer. The best we could do is res a doom scroll, res a cohort, but like you can choose to give the doom scroll credits to make the transfer a bit better. But this hand's good enough. That's good. I don't know how pilled Baz will be against assets. We could decide not to ice HQ, which seems a bit bizarre. But if we get transferred, we can duck 1, 2, 3. No, I think we do ice HQ here. The ping forces a thing. I think we're just going to do this. I don't know what we throw out from our hand. It's only 1 credit. You're right. We could probably just tank the transfer in all honesty. I forget how unimpactful it is. Swift. Okay. So I don't know if this is knives. It could be knives. It could also just be like a berry. Man, I like all our cards here though. All right. I'm going to do something that at least we're not on Hermes. So we can get away with that. All right. Something like that. Yeah, I think we have to toss the agenda. We don't want it. Shibboleth, that's good. It's a good face check. We get a ping. So we will res it. She has her text. So she can install a hardware or resource. So it's a touchstone. Cool. So we can choose what we want to do here. We actually do want the card draw. Now, Shibboleth on her threat is one of the few breakers that doesn't have to boost into a VSA. So she'll break this for 1. But she still has the clear tag. It's nice that you get the card draw compressed. Okay, wage workers, we don't have to res. Here we can discard things. I think we discard the second oppo here. Nice. I mean, we are doing what we're doing. Like, we're set up for a fully op or a flood at this point. We could do a triple install turn with wage workers, but I don't really want to res it. So I think we should probably just do double install. We could even push out a crypto crash, but she doesn't have a lot of money to her name. So I think we just do this and then we set this up next turn. Like, I don't want to install here. We could have drawn first click, which would have been okay, but I think we just click for credit. The only problem is like boomerang transfer is a bit bad. We have points, but again, she's not on Hermes. Don't hit archives, hit our HQ. Nice. Okay. Let's see if she boomerangs this. We want to make sure we have enough credits to res VSA and or ping, but only the ping really matters here. Ooh, cool. So we can hit the net damage first. Oh no, sorry, we have to take the tag first. So we can draw cards. I think the card draw is probably fine here because it'll hide our agendas. Yeah, that got better. And we hit a Saucy, which, I mean, we kind of know what she's about now. And she hit a Regolith, which if she trashes that, we're really happy because we have an Oppo. And we can do triple Regolith, Wagebreaker's Oppo. She's not floating a tag, I don't think. Yeah. We should jam. I mean, probably. This cohort is forcing it. I think her money's so bad, a small Oppo for free is like really, really good. We have exactly Regolith Wageworkers. So I'm going to get rid of the Funhouse because we have to. Yeah. We'll just get our money up. And then we'll just do a small Oppo. We'll just gain 2 so we don't discard. Yeah. I wanted to jam there, and we can now score a Crypto Crash. Not this turn, but soon. So she has 2 tags. We do not have punishment in her hand, and our deck doesn't have that much hard punishment we can draw into here. We do have the Doom Scroll, which will mean she can't run for a bit. Sorry, the B. Okay. I don't know if she's going to clear the tag or not, but we should push here. So we can do install. Wait, we don't have ice? Threw our ice out. I just threw the ice out. That's on me. I should have kept ice for sure. Oh, wait, that's really funny. I don't know what I did there. Trashing ice seems wrong. Yeah, I know. Not only is it bad into a fully up deck, but we needed to push behind the ice. I was like, I'm going to install the agenda on the table. No, that was so bad. Yeah. A whole chat now is catching up on chat delay. Why'd you throw the ice out? I mean, like, I know. Yeah, why do we do that? Yeah, that was not right. Okay, so we're gonna have to use the regolith server. So we can do, unfortunately, regolith install. It's like mid, but I think we can do it. We don't have a revanchulet either. I think we do B embedded regolith. Okay, this gives us some safety. Yeah, that was not good. It's okay, we'll be fine. Reg artificial? I don't think she's gonna have the money. I think she's gonna clear 2 tags. Oh, okay. So now the artificial's a bit better. We will just stop this though. Yeah, I think the crypto push might have been a bit better. So she needs to only boomerang some of these. They all matter. Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. I mean, we've already got our tag on the Doom Scroll, so like ending the B1001 doesn't matter too much. All right, so she's going to take that down maybe. So we have a lot of options this turn. Okay. So we can cohort the embedded for another setup off of a... Wow, we have so many options. Whoa, what are we doing here? So I think we want to cohort flip a funhouse onto this. We can score this out as a 2-2. But we can do like... It's actually as hard for us to wage workers if we flip. What are we meant to do here? Thinking. I'm glad that we didn't push the crypto, but bringing her down to 0 would have been fine. Freedom for 2 sounds like the best option. I don't think it is because we don't use the cohort. Like we can do embedded into another small oppo. That might be fine. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think we're just going to use cohort to flip this. Starlit Knight's really good. We're not on threat 4 yet, but we could do advance, install. She just has to run a single ping though, which is like totally doable. So we could slow roll this, but we don't have a good 3 install. Man, why do we throw out ice? Score with 2 counters and install. Yeah. It keeps the top of the deck safe too. It's just like, I don't think we need to get a counter, like a card with this. And then we install. I don't know if we want to install this behind the ping. I mean, I guess if she gets it, we just oppo her, so who cares? And then ultimately we have a fork anyways with the this from hand. The fully operational is the worst card in the hand. I'm gonna throw out the fully operational. Get shipment? Yeah, actually get shipment is sick. I think I'm throwing out the fully op. Don't hate me. I think we'll try something like this. She has a Kurapira, so at least here she's going to be trading the shipment for this artificial crypto crash. So maybe we should have put it embedded here. So we can draw into the thing. We already have card draw. More money doesn't really matter. She won't be on threat. It's all Starlight. Imagine spending 9 influence on cards you discard. I only discarded one of them, but that's because we played the other ones. So interesting choice here. We know what we're drawing into. Our turn is install. Can we install 2 agendas? So freedom, we can score 2 agendas in the same turn, right? Because freedom is now 1 advancement. I think we'll just draw 2 because we always can discard. But this puts 4 advancement counters. Man, we wanted a revanchulet. We would have pushed her out of the game financially. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, this puts 4 advancements, which means we can do install, shipment, and score 4 points. Yeah, we can score 4 points. So we'll just keep ripping through our deck. I don't think we need an oppo anymore. We could also just score a next big thing. But we have... I think it's cooler to set up the combo. So we do freedom embedded, a better piece of ice, and then we just play shipment. Yeah, and then we can't bring the shipment back because there's only 1 of, and we still have a counter embedded. Yeah, I like the triple install line a fair bit. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And then we have a clickback so we can do shipment. So we'll put 3 counters here and 1 counter here. Then we'll do double score. Again, imagine you had revanchulet there. So here, I don't think it really matters what we get. I'm going to go for a fully op, I guess. That's not good. Freedom from hand later. Yeah, maybe we should have just pushed the next big thing because we had the setup and we only have one copy of this. So I could see us just like trying to push here. Oh, she has air blades. Oh, cool. So she can prevent the 3 net damage if she wants to. But we're just gonna draw 2 cards into this, which we know one of them is safe. Draw 2 cards. Wow. Yeah, there's no Hermes exactly, but Hermes would have been terrible. So just don't hit the next big thing. Okay, Flood. Because the next big thing, mind you, wins off of the Archives run. She's on 6 credits. We have no tag punishment. I'm going to trash her fully up. Okay. So Spin Doctor is important, but we use them vetted, which we might not have wanted to. So now I think the thing that we want to do is just set up a board state. The Starlit Knight has a lot of subroutines, so... Wow, she used her Air Blade. That would have worked on this, right? When the runner encounters, this is... When encountered? No, I don't think that's the same. Yeah, we're definitely going to install this, but I would want to plan the rest of the turn. I think we just do 1, 2, 3, and then we set up a fork. Or like, she wants to run remote server anyways, or sorry, archives. Lamplighter, she has to pay 3. Ping gives her a tag, which is maybe a bit better. So I think we do this. The top of R&D could betray us, so I think we're just going to put this on R&D. I think this is worse on R&D than on the remote in hindsight. And then here we can win off of Flood the Market, or we can win off of Wage Cohort. Maybe we shouldn't res here because we get her click, compress, install. Yeah. So I think we just want credits. Okay, that's fine. Nice, convincing. All right, Underdome is the thing, but unfortunately this was a bit too fast. You can't break Lamplighter? Oh yeah, you're right, she can't because she paying for it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right, That actually is a bit better. That's sick. All right, so we don't have to do anything, but we will. So we're going to show the tomorrow's headline because it's funny. And then here we could quad advance, but we could also just do a flood. Score. I mean, that was seemed okay. She didn't contest our table at all, like our cards that were in the remote servers. And the one of cohort like really shown as much as we messed up early. Thanks for the game. Yeah, I think we had some smoother lines, especially throwing out ice was really, really bad, but we saw a lot of our ice quickly. That was my Baz game for this month. Baz looks so much fun though. Looks like so much fun. That seemed okay. Flop you 0 times? Sure, but I do think it's because we drew our 1 cohort and we drew a regolith. Like, I don't think that means that flop is bad. I just think like it was not the best card in our hand. Yeah, I don't know. If she contested the cohort, either by running cohort or running archives, that game would have gone very differently because we needed this to score out on tempo and just checking archives would have been good. Yeah, 1x cohort, 1 rego, 1 wage worker is like a really good start for us. And we drew enough ice. As much as the middle game, we were a bit awkward. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep playing. I mean, there's a chance you could play fewer fully up, but like I do think it's one of the obviously very important. Oh, excuse me. Let's go. Okay, Ion's still awake. Oh no, sorry. I'm on the wrong side. Sorry, I need to jump to casual. I'll rehost. Yeah, that's the reason it's not casual. I think Ion's gonna play. I don't know, but we're gonna have problems with Lou. We're gonna have problems with Vic. Ion usually just comes in to make us sad, but it's okay. Oh, that's not it. 2608. Corp cash. Nice. Lat. Okay, 46 card lat. We're pretty weak into deep dive because we have legitimate 5/3s. Happy birthday. Thanks, you too. All right, so we don't have any plays with this opening hand, but we do have enough ice. I'm gonna mulligan it. Lat can be pretty good at dealing with assets relatively quickly. Ooh, we got our 1x cohort. We have a lot of things to put on the table, so we can probably overwhelm. Maybe Illumination gets us, so I'm not too worried about Burner. But cohort is the 1 card in the hand we want to protect. I mean, there's a chance to revanchulate, but the cohort is way more important. Here, I think we'll put the plaza down, but you definitely trash the plaza if you see it before we have threat text, so I don't love putting it down early. I think this is the 1 card we would maybe res next turn. Like, Spin Doctor's fine too, especially because he lets us play against Lat, so maybe actually putting a Spin Doctor down is better. Quadruple install, I never love hitting wage workers on turn 1. I think showing you what this card is and spending 2 credits for a click is usually not worth it. Sometimes it is, but I'm really not wanting to pay 2 credits for 1 click turn 1. All right, so we don't have any fly swatters. Like the fact that he doesn't know what this is a big reason why this play can be okay. Showing your opponent what it is sucks. Ugh, yeah, right, Madani. Right. But at least here we have cohort. We can throw out the plaza because it won't have text that matters. Just a unity, that's good. This costs 2 to break a VSA, and you have to install it for 3, and no D's that early. You got it. Yeah, Spin Doctor here might have been better than Wage Workers in hindsight. Like the runner's possibly using a click to check. I mean, they might if they have like overclock SMC. You want to bring your Azimuth down. Okay, so I don't want to show the spin, but I think we have to. So I think we'll start with this spin. Okay, so we haven't drawn any ice, but we can do the triple install now. Fox's money is not there without a creative commission. So we can res the Wage Workers, install a Revanchelet spin, and another Revanchelet maybe. Or a Plaza. Maybe the Plaza here is fine because if he trashes it turns on Oppo. Yeah, I think that's fine. Teehee. Haha, asset spam go. Fully up go. Are you playing 3 cohort is better than 3 flops? It might be. It honestly might be. Cohort is absurd. Especially because 4-2s are also very good because we don't have that many ways that score out 4-2s. I think we have 1 Hollow Man, 2 Floods. Cast, okay, low credits. Not gonna get lat. So it's all about this fermenter economy. We can afford to res this and we'll throw out the Magistrate. For credit, we'll trash the Mage, the straight. You want to do a fully up? I think we do a small fully up here. The other option is like to res the Spin Doctor to trash the Spin Doctor. I mean, that's probably a bit better. It's not that much better. I think we do it. Draw 2. Okay, that's good. I wanted an agenda we can score out. This is not it. This isn't it. To be on 3 credits has to deal with the Doom Scroll and have Revanchelet credits. I mean, we could actually do next big thing Doom Scroll and see what happens. Well, it's cute as flop. I mean, we'll try this. We'll see what happens. This is threatening to score out a 5-3 as much as it'll be expensive, but it puts us on Oppo, it puts us on Public Access Plaza. And I don't know if we can do all of this and fire the Magistrate, but this Fermenter probably needs to be purged. So we could just cohort this once and purge if he doesn't do anything incredibly aggressive. Looks like we probably won't get lat here unless we have a good Madani. Yeah, okay. You got it. All right, so compilation is important. I think we'll just purge. He'll be on 6 credits. I think we do need a purge. I don't know if we just score this out. I think he's going to tear our board apart. So we get a credit. I think we just purge here. I might be wrong. But like he still has to kind of do with the Doom Scroll. It's a shame that we don't have the B on the table. Going to lose Wage Workers? I mean, it's okay. He can deal with Wage Workers or cohort or archives. He has to deal with all of it and still risk Oppo. I mean, this is weird too, so it's like kind of hard to unwrap what we're doing. It's a bit risky. Like maybe he cups, and if he cups, he doesn't have to worry about Oppo. Okay, Muse into, I don't know, Azimuth, or it could be a KK turn, and you just get a Coalescence. It's not incredible. Maybe you just get a, yeah, Coalescence. So I think we'll see a KK run, or we have a spec work. There you go. So now running is actually a bit more reasonable, and I think we're going to lose our Wage Workers for the cup. Yep. So did not trash it. So Oppo's offline. And we're pinholing the cohort, which is cool. Was purge worth opportunity cost of scoring 3 points and draining 3 credits? I mean, we still have an issue next turn that we can deal with. Not running HQ, canonically incorrect. I don't think it's going to be the Spin Doctor. It's the cohort is going down. I mean, this is probably still okay for us. Our hand is okay. He still needs to get in with credits off the next big thing. The Crypto Crash draw is not like beautiful, but now we can set up the B1001. We can even like, no, we can't score it out. No, Oppo, please. Yeah, like Oppo here would be actually sick because Ion is on low credits and obviously Oppo is absurdly good for us. So we could have to advance this once probably. We can install B1001 behind the Lamplighter, which is just like a fine combo. And then that's kind of all we got. So I think we'd probably just put the Doom Scroll in front of the Magistrate. Because he still needs to get in here, not have a tag, and have 3 credits. So we are forcing a lot of different directions. We'll see if it turned out to be wrong. I don't like that next turn is just gain 3 credits pass. But next big thing is good. And we're on Oppo. Which if we had that, I think Ion's in a bad spot. We don't, unfortunately. Our text has been relevant 0 times. Because he's not interacting, which like, yeah. We have to make that a problem that he's not interacting. The thing is like our ice outside of ping gets a lot worse once he gets breakers down. Okay. Maybe you trash this. We were in Oppo last turn. You want to get this down before we score out. So like that's the issue of that card, why I don't like it. Maybe we should ice that up. Because now we're just scoring and doing nothing. On 2 credits. So you got it. So we're going to make him lose 3 credits. He can simul chip in response. So I'm going to have to say advance action and see if he thinks it's the crypto. So I'm going to advance once and ask for action. We have an Oppo though. Oh man, if we could Oppo this turn. But now like playing Oppo into the double fermenters is pretty bad. Yeah. If we had one more click here, it would be good. How about now? So yeah, the double fermenters, like fermenter is such an absurdly good card to play around Oppo. Blood Oppo, it's really expensive. If we do, wait, actually it's not that bad. Wait, actually that's interesting. Do we do Tempo Flood? Oh, we probably do. He'll start his turn on 2 credits. He clicks a fermenter, clears 2 tags. No, I don't think we do. So we can do all this in the same priority window. So we have this button, which can matter. We're not in YDL, so there's not a lot of explosive. It's just a step up. I mean, yeah, bad things are going to happen now to us because I think we've overextended. And our board state can probably come down. And yeah, we're going to lose to fermenters for sure. Because now the Oppos are just annoying. Yeah, our board state's not there. We lost 3 key cards without punishment. At least the cup here is not likely to be super impactful. Getting the coalescence or the Muse coalescence probably, yeah. Because this you install for +2 and then you have 2 knickknack cells. So like whenever you're simul chipping for a knickknack, go for the Muse, not just the raw coalescence. Yeah, I think we're cooked. Hits Flood, hits Shipment, hits Crap to Crash. Bummer. So did find it. Was favored to find it. You have to pay 3 to steal it though. Yeah. It's an additional choice cost. We don't have anything that blows out from centrals. Like we don't have Stink Tank. We don't have Beholds. We could. And now we have to play around this last fermenter. So even if we Oppo, like we can't purge. So the best thing we could do is put something behind Doom Scroll and go. You got it. It's also cool that Reality Plus plays around Lat. If you go draw instead, it's sometimes hard for Lat to beat it. Okay, that's what was on the top. I think we just have to do as many things as we can at once. So we can do install embedded. We could fully opt for cards and credits, and then we can Oppo. We can also install embedded and just score it. I mean, that's expensive. I think I'd rather do a bit of everything. So we'll draw 2. Oof, that's scary. We have a Spin Doctor though, so we could draw once more here and then throw out 1 card. I mean, I'm fine with that. Obviously the ordering there was a bit scuffed, and we'll just do a small Oppo to force out. Oh, we can do a big Oppo. Oh, we don't have the money to cash that. Oh, if I realized that, we would have got only credits off with a fully op. I forgot we could big Oppo. Yeah, of course we're in threat. A big Oppo actually would have been more impactful. That's fine. We'll throw out the NBT. We don't want to score it. We went in 2 agenda scores, ideally not that one. Ain? Hey, Chris. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we would have just done like go straight for the money. We'd have only 2 more credits. That's not huge. Not enough money for threat 3. No, we were okay. So the big thing with like fully op is you get the 2 credit refund back. So you only need like 5 credits. We could have done it, but then we're not threatening to res any of this ice. Like we still did slow him down. The problem is that he didn't have to crack the fermenter. That's the biggest issue. We needed him to force to use this. And if we're not forcing him to use the fermenter, we're in a bad spot. That being said, if he wants to interact with the table, he needs to be able to beat Magistrate. Okay. So he did get 3 credits. The knickknack is so good at beating Magistrate, so we have to shuffle this. So we're going to put back the NBT. And then the question was, what else we put back here? 2 plazas are out. I think we only have 2 plazas. The 1 cohort is out. There is still 1 fully operational in the deck and 2 Oppo researches, and we're about to score an embedded probably. I think we do fully. I think we just have to play every single oppo. Was there a play to use NBT for YDL? We don't have YDL. But I think there was a chance you could have done this button. But I wanted to put something on the table. Okay, did access on 7. Okay. So we can still score this. I'm really scared about this fermenter. Loses 3. We have to discard down. The B is something on the table. Yeah, okay, guys. Yeah, we got a game. Doom Scroll is harder to deal with Echelon because we're not on any breakers so far. The shipment is how we win. The B1001 and the Oppo are also really important. I think the way we win is to flood the market, which I don't know if he's seen one yet, but if we're on fully op, he must assume we're on one. I don't know which of these ice is better. We have 1 shipment and we have 1 agenda that matters. I'll do B with ping, I think. All right, so that was a 10 credit fermenter. Oh. Right. That is we have played against Ion playing Conduit. We have no tech against Conduit. The best we can do is just put a piece of ice on R&D. And this unfortunately shuffles, so it's not really doable. We have no surprises from R&D. Like in theory, there could be a Behold Lask, like, oh God, Hannah. Yeah, now we're in a bad spot. Okay, so he knows we're on an Oppo. We're still allowed to do a shuffle. Show me embedded flood. I mean, it does win if we draw it. If we had them embedded, we do win. Or tomorrow's headline. So there was a couple cards that we could have had that could have won. The issue is money. The ping will be a problem. I think we'll start here. There's no money we can draw besides, oh geez. Oh, that's interesting though. So shuffle any amount of cards back. So we'll shuffle shipment, Oppo. We want to be on 7 cards because we're going to do double install. The ping is free. We want to keep these 2 in our hand because one of them can win the game. We need to keep our table safe. We've seen a cup and 1 simulchip. So we can shuffle 3 back, I think. I mean, this is weak against cup if cup recursion happens, so I'll keep a redundant copy. We just need to keep the table busy. Just hope they don't steal them. Yeah, well, there's not a huge incentive to run HQ with this lat. I mean, a burner would be pretty bad. But like we can't play around everything. 3 cards threatens most of our ice. Okay, simulchip means we can pull out a breaker through Muse if we need to. The ping will give a tag almost no matter what, which is good. So we'll be able to res this for free. But the problem now is like you're forked between dealing with the table and dealing with flood the market. For flood the market, we just need to start on 3 credits. Whoa, we have a click left here? Okay. So this is okay. We res the Doom Scroll, you can respond to it, throwing out the Unity. So I don't think we res this, because if this B goes down, we're actually kind of okay. We might res this for 1, but it's very likely that like this B going down doesn't actually matter. We just need to keep one of these 2 cards on the table, which is not necessarily guaranteed. It's because we don't have a lot of liquidity. We could use some transactional economy operations. If you're panicking, you always can just hand a pop here. Pinhole? Shit. Okay. So that's going to keep us off the game for a turn. Nothing to do here. We're so poor. Yeah, unfortunately, we're so poor. And it's because we've res no ice. Like, our ability has fired, I think, 0 times. We fired 1 fully operational. But our ability has fired 0 times. This lat has so much consistent throughput. Like, every turn, we're getting, like, 4 credits on a card draw. You got it. I mean, that's good. This needs to stick, though. I mean, I think we just continue doing this. That's fine. Interesting, no cup. It's a bit expensive, and he doesn't know we have this because we would have comboed that before. The question is, what did the next big thing draw? Flushing HQ here is reasonable, but like with the conduit, you might just go for the conduit. But I think like Ion understands if you just deal with the table, you can deal with everything. Right? Like if you deal with the table, we have no win condition. I think we have one hollow min. Maybe we cut all hollow min. But if he deals with the table, at least like one of these assets, we can't win. And I think he's just going to do that and then conduit lock. All right, so Muse Propeller, Muse Principia. So a lot of fractors and access to whatever this is. We're going to run the Lamplighter. We can afford to res this. We pay 2, Ion pays 3. And then 3 more. I don't know. At least we got through the fermenters, but oh my god, yeah, we lose to fermenter. I don't know if we can put him a virus, or I don't know if we can play the one that purges while putting in advancements. That card's actually pretty good, especially if you're on the grid. But yeah, he's just gonna run our stuff down. He doesn't need a win. We're gonna lose. Good. In theory, he could muse first here if he wants to muse for a hush, so we can't res a ping. BAU might be needing the deck. I think you only want to do BAU if you have Vlad. We'll see if we can res this. Yeah, business is not a bad card. It's threat text though is when it's good. All right, so we're gonna pay 3 and then 3 more. I don't know if you're gonna muse for Azimuth. So this could have been something with text. If it was a white space, we get through it. If it's a VSA, it would actually be a bit ugly because you have to muse for Unity. All right. So we can no longer flood out. And unless we draw a Funhouse, and even then we might cup it. Not cup it, Fizzarimit. Like, it's very hard for us to win out here. We need to play the big Oppo. So this might be big Regolith Oppo. But if we do that and don't put a problem on the table, like we need to put an Acid Regolith Oppo. Oh, our text can fire. We haven't used Madani yet, right? No, we haven't. We could keep the ping to break lock later, but it's not amazing. I think ultimately this will cost him to have to clear a tag. I think we're just gonna get money because we can Oppo this turn. So we'll probably muse through this. Or sorry, propeller through this. Does cost a credit. Still res? I think we do. It's free. We're seeing 2 new cards and there's a next big thing shuffled in somewhere. Okay, so we probably clear a tag here, which means the Oppo is going to be impactful. I just wish we have a card to draw to put in the remote server. We have to remember that he knows what we top deck, so if we find an acid, he'll think it's an acid. We could just put the embedded in on the table. There's actually no downside to clearing the tag here, besides we could trash these. Oh, damn. Okay, that helps us in the long run. Popped Hannah. I mean, that's good. She doesn't come back, but like, what an absurd card to try and beat when you're playing remote horizontal tags. Like, you need a creative here. Or a way to get your coalescence back. Because you know you're going to catch an Oppo. Yeah, I did. I'm not sure. I think I did. You only saw one. Yeah, the next big thing drew 4, so we always go through the lock. Yeah, you have to draw 4. Yeah, so the lock is not known. Yeah, the lock was not only broken, but it was also shuffled, which didn't matter. He only knew the top card, which was Armando. But now he knows the top 2 of R&D. He needs a creative here, I think. But like, he can always oh, that's so bad for us. Man, this card, it was banned at some point. It's so annoying. Going from 4 to 8 is like so important this turn. Okay, so we know this. Okay, so we could do Regolith install Oppo. The thing is you have to make a run and either break Lamplighter. I think we're gonna push it. Server 1. Okay, so only 3 credits, which is enough. This Lamplighter has real text. You have to consider clearing a couple of the tags, and even if you get in here, you might be on 2 tags. And 2 tags is enough for us to ship it out the embedded and win the game. So we do have an interesting board state here. He knows the 1 card on top of R&D, knows that we have a shipment in hand. So we did at least not Oppo pass, we Oppo and made a problem, which is what you want to be doing. And imagine again, instead of the Revanchulid, maybe we iced up this public access, which like, I hate drawing public access on threat 0 because like you do always trash it. But when it's not there, you just get a credit turn for the rest of the game. Yeah, this is a good fork. Yeah, so like Principia could come down. It comes down for 3, and then you immediately knick-knack it for +1. The thing is, like, are you running? And if you're running, you're not clearing all the tags. Deep dive can probably win. I mean, what else is new? Like, not much we can do about that. You could float the tags and go for a deep dive. You see 7 cards. You could even snipe an embedded from hand. Even if you get like you need a 3-pointer though. I don't think we have any click generation. Okay, the Principia comes down on our turn. So sorry, for 2 credits because of D-side. So this is a +2 credit card as long as you're running, which I mean Ion is priced into running now. We've seen how many Bs? I think only 1. We've seen 2 Bs. Okay. So this could be a B, I guess. Okay, we're checking this. So we're going to end up on a fair few tags. So Principia, we have to break Lamplighter, which is not a given. I guess you have to muse through this. Is it Revolver? Or are you Fizzariming it? Or you're Fizzariming it. Okay, that's fine. So you still break this for 2, which is like a steal. All right, another tag. So we can draw 2 or gain 2. Draw 2 breaks lock further. Ew, my lamplighter. My lamplighter. Oh no, I keep forgetting about that. We're just gonna gain credits here. So now you only win off of a single axis if it's the agenda, but you can no longer clear tags unless you have some trick to be underneath the shipment in hand. Yeah, exactly. So Ion knows we have the shipment in hands. The question is, do we have the agenda? I think if we didn't have the agenda, we might have drawn there. Maybe drawing is right to hide it as a 1 and 6. I think actually drawing might be fine. Okay, so we're just going on R&D. At least this only sees 2 new cards. And the thing is, if you see an agenda that gives tags, which we don't have, we could draw there, but we don't want to. So this is a known card, unknown card. There's 1 next big thing. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, so now you're seeing 2 more cards. So that's really quite bad. Yeah, okay, so if this holds, we win. If it doesn't, we lose. We have exactly 2 more runs here. I don't think we've used the Madonna yet. Oh, yeah, we haven't. Trashing spin, seeing another. Okay, we're seeing 2 more cards. I mean, we could have it. Yeah, Conduit Hope for the best is the thing. The fact that we didn't draw might actually give Ion information, but I don't think we can draw into a known R&D. Yeah, 2 from deck or 1 from HQ. Well, you know 1 card in HQ for sure is a shipment. This is like the exciting games that the SVT was talking about. It's like at the end it does fall apart, but it becomes close. Yeah, it costs 1. But I don't want to break lock into Conduit. Not sure what I was meant to do. I need to sell it that like we don't have the points in hand. Because maybe he thinks we don't have it, and then he goes R&D anyways. But I'd rather him take the 1 and 4 in HQ. I think the 1 and 4 odds are better than seeing 2 in R&D. Yeah, I think it does insinuate. Yeah, I think he might be right there, that we could have it, but I'll take a 1 and 4. I mean, it's good. Runner's definitely meant to go HQ here. I think there's a chance. It's Ion's birthday, so. And poll chat. Yeah, okay. Chat likes HQ. It's a 25% chance. I don't think there's any tricks here that we can produce multi-axis. I don't know if we're going to expect a tailgate in this lat deck. Or a Madani after all. Like Onicom maybe, but we've already seen a cup. And I don't think we're going to see a jailbreak. You asked for chat. You can't ask for chat and say no. Okay, it's chat. I would bear my cross. Ooh, I mean, this could still work. I'd rather have the 1 and 4 in HQ. I feel like the odds are higher than 25% chance here. He needs to find any agenda. Sees 2 new cards. Yeah, let's go. Hey. I am assuming we have it. Whoa. Oh no. Yeah, 3 fresh. It was a steal. No, it should only be 2 fresh. I don't know. Oh, because we trashed and stole? I'm not sure. There was 1 in HQ. I think the no draw tells you that. All right. I mean, we got there. We had a really good fork there at the end. I was very happy with how that was. But we have the shipment. Mind you, we didn't need to advance that. We'll just score this out. Yeah, R&D has a couple. How far down do you have to see? Oh, wow. Only 2 agendas left in R&D. Bottom, 4th, and 3rd. So R&D is holding for a long time. Ooh. I mean, we'll take it. That was a good game. Yeah, there was only 3 agendas in R&D when he was digging. So even finding 1 agenda might not have been super reasonable. But there was a lot of like trashes, so you can see slightly deeper. Hey, good game. Yeah, that was a fun one. Happy birthday again, eh? Yeah, it's Ion's birthday. Technically, it was yesterday on Ion's side of the world, but I mean, we'll take it. Yeah, hard fought for sure. That sort of fork is like, again, it was very common for NBN back in the day where like you put them in tag prison, technically, and then they have 1 turn to figure it out. And you usually get those exciting endings. Like controlling the message was not uncommon for that. Hey, cheers. Should have listened to chat. I mean, 25% of the time, you win all the time. The odds on HQ did seem better. I think the math said that was the case. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just getting a bit warm, so I'm going to tilt the fan off camera closer to my face, but I don't know if there's any changes. I'll leave this on screen, but if you think there should be any changes that we should make, let me know. There's parts of it that like I think are skill issues. Like we're learning whether we should protect magistrate or public access. I think public access is actually very much worth icing up. The tag punishment is getting there. The ice seems like we have enough ice, but like, I don't know, the lamplighters are good. They're genuinely quite good. The VSAs haven't mattered yet, so we'll figure out. And like the 2 next big things, I mean, they're helping us win because they have a 3-pointer. I should know the chat when they were elementary disc. 1 second. All right. Yeah, I don't know if there's any changes that are obvious that we have to make. Do we want to fly swatter for the Anarch matchup? I mean, it's good, but I honestly don't think Ion face checked at any point in time where he had a loaded thing. I think he played around it. 2x freedom. Yeah, I could see 2x freedom and like just playing a bit more aggressively. That could make sense. We haven't scored a crypto crash. I think there was a turn that we could have. The thing is like the freedom is a bit rough, but even if we scored a 3-2 freedom, we're pretty happy, I think. Hey, Gyro, how's it going? So like I could see doing the shift, but we've already always found a freedom when we need it. But like it's a fun card. The oppos are very good. They're very, very good. I don't think we've wanted 3 flood the markets yet. Fully operational has looked good, but maybe not necessary. Wage workers we've got consistently has felt good. And honestly, like it might be 1 more regolith, 1 fewer public access plaza. I think the regolith is so important to threaten big oppo as soon as possible. So we'll try that. Everyone's been doing well, having a good time. So far, we've been having a good enough time playing Reality Plus, which is, I mean, on this side of the table, it's not super surprising, but they've been interesting games. We've had like a fair bit of agency on what we want to do to the opponent and like how we can fork them, which is fun. That fork only worked because we had an agenda that gave a tag, very importantly. So we're a corp, we have to do cash. Okay, let's go. Do we put in any planograms? I can't find slots. Like ultimately, because we're a fully op deck, we need so many slots. Mind you, we don't even have Hollow-Man, I forgot. We have so many slots we have to put into putting things on the table. I could see us playing maybe more so a YDL, just because with fully with our Reality Plus ability, we are drawing a fair bit, so we could like draw up and play the YDL, which might be better. That being said, like the planogram is nice because it is soft tag punishment and allows us to dig while getting credits, which could really matter on a certain turn. Oh, interesting. Essa. I haven't played against a lot of standard Essa right now. Hey. I think losing Melies is probably good for Essa. Because I think checking archives is really hard. Cut single wage for cohorts. There could be some truth in that. We've been opening with a cohort every single game, which has been incredibly surprising. We have Spin Doctor, we have Starlit Knight cohort. We're weak against Shistushka and Finality, but whatever, it's fine. I think we're going to ice up the Starlit in the cohort, which is a bit expensive. Ideally, we draw something cheaper. I do think Essa is going to struggle trying to break a VSA. Bummer. I don't want to show the spin. I really don't. I think we can draw once. Okay, this is bad. So spin could fix this. We can now sabotage from the deck pretty aggressively, but this could be a blowout if we res this for 3. I think we should cut the B1001s for Asa with text. I mean, B1001 is so good. All right, so I will trade card draw. You will trade 2 tags. What are you gonna do? Yeah, sure. This is a really bad face check, it turns out. Yeah, tag me is correct. Face checking into Reality Plus sucks. Because now you're going to have more cards, but you still have to spend 2 clicks clearing 2 tags. We lose the cohort, but like that's more credits down. Stylish should definitely go. I love this card. This card's so good. The 3 credit face check for 2 tags is nonsense. I love drawing this card. It's like such a good card in the mid to late game. Like, look at this. Like, we could oppo here so easy. And I don't think you ever check through this again. Like, I don't think you're allowed to. So I think we do start with the Spin Doctor and show it, which sucks, but they can't really trash it. So I think we just do wage. I mean, money is a problem, but I think we just do something like this. I don't know. The wage workers Spin Doctor has to go down before sabotage. I could see us next turn using this as a pad campaign. Good money. Good card draw. Haven't been sabotaged yet, but with a Spin Doctor at the table, you generally don't want to sabotage. I think we have a severe thunderstorm thing tonight in Montreal. It's looking a bit rough out there. Our cohort didn't stick, which sucks, man. This card's so good. Like, I think the raindrops made that a lot easier, but if that wasn't a raindrops, this is like such a bad face check. Ghost Dunk. Okay, cool. So sabotage with Spin Doctor just allows us to fix our hand. So like, I don't want these cards. Admittedly, cards in hand are better than anything else, but like, this is totally acceptable. What's the decision? Oh, we hit a steel skin. Okay, so we're over hand size. That wouldn't happen. Oh, rough. So 2 steel skins are out. We have to discard 3 cards. Is cohort just because it's a great asset in asset deck, or is it something particular I'm not immediately seeing? No, it's just one of the best assets in the game. It threatens never advance. It gives you forward. It pushes you forward. Nothing very specific. Like, we're not playing, and maybe we should. Maybe actually we really should. We're not playing Powers That Be, which we probably could be. We're not playing Stoke the Embers, so we don't have any of the NBN synergy points. But it's just like one of the best assets in the game. We also do have reality plus card draw, so maybe it's a bit easier to fire, but I couldn't tell you. Oh, they threw out a Baya. That's really good for us. So we do credit, 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 raise wage workers, credit. We're still on 4 credits. I mean, seems good enough to me. Yeah, that campaign. Jiteki have the best econ asset in the game. Yeah. This is definitely one of those cards that like they overcooked on. Like, it's so good and it is very interesting, but like, oh my God, is this card nonsense? Okay, money is good. Oppo is no longer relevant. We're just going to lose our wage workers, which means we could do a tempo Oppo, but we don't have much to back it up with. They don't have a lot of card draw, so like it still might be worth it. We're no longer getting them embedded, but I could see us like setting up B1001 VSA and just doing a small Oppo and saying, I don't care. In theory, icing up the Spin Doctor is a bit more important actually in the matchup, but this protects the server. We'll just do Oppo for credits. If we had more money, we would have gone for card draw. This means the freedom has to be respected. Our Spin Doctor is at... Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. So they cleared tags. That's fine. I mean, we could just score this out. We have no way to get another advancement on it. We go down to 1 credit, which is but. It's pretty bad. This will get run down next turn anyways. So I think we just put something sacrificial. I think our economy is really, really bad. At least this will turn on our 1 copy of Public Access Plaza. But we're struggling to do anything on tempo. And again, we haven't drawn any of our fully opts. I don't know. Doesn't feel good. Oppo being free is cursed. It is. The low Oppo being free is definitely feels bad for the runner. And this server is still worth putting things in. Ooh, buy bands. Oh, we're on 1 credit. Bummer. This is a very big difference of being a 1 versus 2. Very, very big difference. Imagine the B1000 was a PAP. I mean, it would have gone down. Actually, probably not gone down here. I mean, B1001 is just such a good card, though. It's like, it is a win condition of a card. I think I would trade other cards sooner than this. Like, it is such a good card. There's not a lot of cards in the game that do this. Okay, Marrow. I'm just going to do from the top of the deck. We lost Ping and a Magistrate. Their money is not there. Okay, Fermenter helps because Magistrate A is valuable. I mean, that's pretty good. They're on no tags. We could just do Annoying Regolith. The thing is, like, the Spin Doctors get double traded, but we could do Spin Doctor here, Regolith here, just to keep them busy. We just need to have 2 credits. Oh, sorry. I missed. Maybe we'll lose a Spin Rego credit. Yeah. And I think icing this up is good enough because like this one probably will get contested. I don't know if you contested obviously against a three counter botulus. But yeah, they did defang one of our ice really well. At least it had its text. We'll see if they have HQ pressure. Like sometimes you play cup. Chestushka is open. That's fine. Yeah, okay, good. So we don't lose value. We'll actually shuffle back the cards we want to draw. So it'll probably be like Oppo and Cohort. Ping is really good too. Like they have to play a Begamet to deal with Ping, and that's really expensive. And you don't get the value of the Begamet. But now they feel like they can sabotage, which like it's good to hide the spin. The thing is, if we res the VSA, they won't have money to trash a Regolith. They'll be short 2 credits, and we can still fire the Regolith. All right, 6 card hand size. Do you think this is one of these turns where we just say, oops, I have 9 credits, now I have to respect all the Oppos? Chestushka totally fine with a Spin Doctor. So I'm just going to go 4 off the top. They could do it again. We lost no points. Then we'll res this Spin Doctor, and we'll shuffle back all the points. We had an Oppo in a hand, we could choose to give them points, but that's fine. And now the Fermenter is load bearing. Like if they stole an agenda, they have to fire the Fermenter. Okay. What's happening in VR? We're reality plusing. It's a totally reasonable what's it called? Name for both a reality plus and a Vic stream. So we have all our bases covered. Okay, so purging the Fermenter will be a problem for them. If we purge, though, we just pass. But purging the Fermenter will be a big problem for them. I think it is worth it. The question is, what do we discard? And it's not very obvious what we discard here. It might be the shipment. Yeah, purge is so good because they're bankrupt, and if they're bankrupt, they can't interact with us. Like, I want to purge. The problem is we have to discard. Are we flooding? No, I think we're in a good spot. We're actually in a pretty good spot. We have Oppo agendas. And then next turn, we can do a triple install and set up a board state. I think shipment's actually the worst card in our hand, which is kind of surprising. But no, we have Oppo. I mean, it's probably an agenda, but I'm going to throw the shipment and regret it because we only have 1 more Spin Doctor. I don't think we can't. Oh, yeah, we're flood the marketing. Is your hand messed up? No, yeah, we're on 2 flood the market, 3 fully up. This is interesting. I mean, we have, maybe we don't need it. Can't tell. Yeah, shipment's probably the worst, but like we only have 1 more Spin Doctor and we can't recur this. Interesting. I think you have to have card draw. The problem is like Ghost Tongue is really good at translating card draw to credits like this. So might not have been right. Might not have been right, actually. R&D is usually the server you don't run here. I think you run HQ. Yeah, they're up on 7. Okay, still fine. Okay, so we can do 3 installs. Did they trash something? Oh, they stole something. Oh, okay. So we can do a small Oppo, which will slow them down a wee bit. Again, this is why B1001 is so good on tempo, because you install a B1001, do a small Oppo, and then they have a bunch of problems. But we're not good at drawing the things that let us to score out. So we could do Wage Workers behind this, tomorrow's headline Doom Scroll, and just say go. We want a small Oppo next turn after tomorrow's headline gets stolen, because it's a lot worse for them. So I think this is worth resing. Okay, we'll try and do that. We could have Oppo'd there. If we small Oppo, we never use B1001. I mean, maybe. It depends what they do. Are they just discussing us? Yeah, I think they are. I wonder why they're not running HQ. HQ is so much more valuable against us. Especially because we know the top of R&D is safe off of that R&D run. Like, R&D into Sabotage. Last spin is out, though. We only have 18 cards. We're doing it again? Yeah, sure. So we could lose here. They hit the Freedom, so they're on a threat. They're just Stushkaing 1 more time, but with no clicks left over. We have no single tag punishment for this headline, so not icing HQ is catching up with us. This is probably the list I think what we saw this weekend, which just wants to just Stushka to win condition, which like you don't commonly see. All right, so the game is not in archives, but embedded is. Okay, that's ugly. So we can score this, give them a tag. The tag doesn't translate to anything. And then they can call the remote server because this next big thing cost the game. They did steal though, so we can do tomorrow's headline into Big Oppo. This drops us down to 7. We go down to 2. I mean, I think we still do it. B. There. See what happens. I don't know. This probably isn't great for us. Score an Oppo. Yeah, the issue is this hand. They see how aggressively we've been discarding cards from R&D. They should probably swipe the hand here. And we 100% lose to the hand run. So we're not in a good spot. We definitely should have put 1 ice on HQ. I don't think I respected it. And Chestushka is usually a 2 of in a lot of these decks. But I think a bunch of the decks this weekend are on like multiple Katurka just to play the same Chistushka. If we put a piece of ice off of HQ, this wouldn't have happened. So we've made some bad plays to allow this to happen because that's the only pressure that S has been putting off. And we sabotage, I think, 12 cards to Chistushkas, which is not great. I don't think it's the same list. Oh, Zam, yeah, you were playing the list, right? Yeah, maybe not. But you're seeing more of it than I have in a long time of the Chistushkas. Like normally I tell people to play Ice HQ first against Essa, and that's kind of fallen off over the last year. Haven't seen any Ice Destruction. Oh, that list is on Chisel Charm, isn't it? You're right. Or a Crew Charm. I don't think they're worried about getting blown up. But we have some problems because there's no card that we can top deck that wins. Because we only have 2 freedom, and one's in the score area, one's in here. So we can get to 6 points, but we can't win. We could stick a B, we might be able to recover because they'd have to like run it enough times. The thing is we can't. Okay, that's good. Shipment, we threw out our 1 shipment, which maybe we shouldn't have, but we threw out our 1 shipment and we have no more spin doctors. So we have to win with the bottom cards of our deck, which is really quite difficult for us. Because we only have, we have nothing else that tags punishes. We have a next big thing in hand? Yeah, but we can't score it. I mean, the Starlight Knight does have a lot of end-to-run subroutines, so like we could just score out the freedom information, put a public access plaza, and put the NBT in here, and then we top deck one of our what's it called? Our 5/3s. We can get there. Our fully floods. We can get there. But I could see us doing install. I guess then we can't regolith. Oh, we need regolith. We need money. But the Starlight Knight has a lot of subroutines. It has 5 end-to-runs, which like maybe a revolver gets there. Deck needs an IP enforcement. It does, Ba. Yeah, 100% we should be on IP enforcement. I could see that. I don't know why we forgot that. IP enforcement's so fun with Reality Plus. Kind of tricky here. So yeah, money sucks. We can also just do Rego install. And keep 1 card in HQ. Install 3 and then click Rego. But I want to install in the server so that when we top deck the thing, we can put 3 advancements. I mean, that's not super important. Yeah. Triple install score freedom, reg. And this needs to go here, though, behind the Starlit. So, like, the Wage Workers doesn't even fire, I don't think. I think we just do install reg. That's bad. Yeah, I think we're kind of cooked. They need to clear 1 tag to get in here. Yeah, you're right. This will be on 4. Yeah, they just clear 1 tag and run. Yeah, I think we're in a bad spot. Being on both flood and shipment seems a bit odd. No, it's pretty common. This is better, though, with IP enforcement. An IP enforcement here would go so hard. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have this. So we've been thinking way too long, but we have 11 cards left. We haven't seen a finality. There's definitely like at least 1 more Chistushka. Hey, Chris, clear 1 tag. Yeah. How's your 2608 been so far? I mean, maybe they don't see the line. I think I want to put something in here anyway, so if they do it, we feel good. So I think we do draw freedom plaza, and we put the plaza here. We don't need 3 credits. Okay, Lamplighter is good. That actually is good for us. So I think we install this in server 5, score it. Right. I mean, we lost the fully off. That's the first one. That would have been an okay card. And we'll put this in the server, so if they interact with it, it's pretty good. I mean, it's the best we can do. That is fun. Ob is annoying. Yeah, Ob is probably really, really good. I watched some of the replays you shared, and like, yeah, there's some nonsense stuff going on with Ob right now. Let's go. All right, our play worked out. We still don't have a way to win from this board state, but this has 4 subroutines, so we made them waste their time. We could res this, and I think we do, because then there's no shot they trash it. What's Ob doing with Svi? Svi is so important. Okay, they are on 4 credits, but they have a huge fermenter. We could just pass here and purge. Ghost Stung still has access to a lot of economy. Wait, no, they play 3 gambles, 2 strike funds, 1 wildcat. So purging here might slow them down. We're not doing much. We win by top decking a 3/2 and at the same time having a copy of Flood the Market, which all the Flood the Markets are still in the deck, which is pretty surprising. In terms of 3/2s, there is none left. That might be an issue. Yeah, all that's left in the deck is next big things. That's not good. Glacier toolbox. I imagine the modern ops to be a bit faster than Glacier because like speed puts you on a clock. I think we purge here. I don't like it. Yeah, we need money for flooding with, and public access does get us there next turn. But the issue is I don't think our deck has any more agendas we can score out. All right. They have Nuka, so I'm just gonna give card draw. Yeah, Glacier Ob, I don't even know place fees. Maybe they do, but I don't think you needed fee for that deck to be good. Oh, cool. Okay, we lose. We were not likely to win from this point anyways. Yeah, we definitely don't want to eat Fortress Dushkas. Good game. Yeah, I don't really have an out there. Thank you. I should have iced HQ. They didn't present any breakers on HQ. They probably do have a botulus, but like definitely ice HQ. Like VSA on HQ is so good because they don't have a good way of dealing with it. I respected Shestushka or disrespected Shestushka in a way that's like kind of embarrassing. I think a lot of the decks I've been playing around S for the last while have stopped playing Shestushka, and it feels like they're coming back for it. Yeah, that's not great for me. Particularly with only 40 cards. Yeah. So we could have done something better there. I think that would have helped a heck of a lot. I think our only advance was keeping Wage, sneaking out the NBT, advance, flood. I think we could have maybe pushed behind a Lamplighter. If they face check into the Lamplighter, unless they have a Botulus, which they probably do, it's not good for us. But the only way we win is like build a wider board state, hope that the bottom of our deck is only agendas, and we draw a Flood. Flood was the last 2 cards, so I think we're going to lose that game no matter what. But just putting an ice on HQ would have helped so much. And we definitely biffed that. I do think the tag punishment, like we probably want one more piece because we're getting people consistently tagged. It's just like we can't consistently close the game out. And like IP enforcement would have gone so hard there. So I like that. I do like that a fair bit. The Funhouse looks like nothing. Lamplighter costs them 3 though? No, it doesn't. If they're tagged, it ends the run. They have to clear all the tags and then pay 3. Like if they're tagged, this is a hard end the run. It's quite good. No synchro? No, synchro's not necessary. It's a lot of influence too. Synchro just buys you a click. Like Wage Workers buys you clicks, Cohort buys you clicks. It's definitely not worth it. It's a brick of a card. Yeah, if they're tagged, this hard ends the run. And they also have to consider paying for the 3 cost. Otherwise, we get 2 credits or card draw. Magistrates also could have been relevant in that matchup, but they had the Fermenters when they need it. Man, like so much of this meta right now, at least from my minimal experience, is like, can you answer Fermenter? And outside of Criminal, if you can't answer Fermenter, Oppo as like a tempo play doesn't make any sense. I do not know what we'd have to do to respond to Fermenter, but responding to Fermenter seems so important. Maybe we could cut the Funhouse. Fly Swatter? Oh yeah, we could play Fly Swatter. You're right. Fly Swatter is the one card we could play. So far, VSA in that matchup I think would have been a bit better. Fly Swatter's not bad though. Let's try 1-1 just to see like which one we feel better about. Like 1 VSA, 1 Fly Swatter. The Sandbox lobby is casual anyways. Let's see how far we can get. I don't know what card we cut here. I don't love the next big things. They're really hard for us to score out. Like it's obviously a slots issue and you could play this on 49 cards, but playing 2 next big things feels bad. It is a really hard card for us to score out. Cut Magistrate for 1 more Pap? I don't know. I think Magistrate's so good. Funhouse, Fly Swatter, Pap is IP enforcement. I don't think we can cut money from the deck. I do think we can cut a Funhouse. And now we're just playing 11 ice instead of 12. We'll try that. We've been okay on drawing ice. Oh, I was just going to join Chris's game. Bummer. Okay. Like we need stuff in servers and we need money, and Pap does all of that stuff. And it's really hard to trash once you're at game point. Oops. The thing is, I don't want 3 because I don't want to draw 1 in my opening hand, because if you're not on game point, it's not great. Or not on game point, on threat 2. Actual Corp. Yeah, 11 ice in a 44 card deck for Flood's probably okay. We also didn't resolve a Flood last game, which like just cards in hand is also really powerful because it means you can sabotage from hand a bit more. Sabotaging from the top of the deck is like not no tempo, but it is expensive. In terms of losing. Was Janina a better Rashid replacement than she is? You wish? Yeah. Yeah, she's not good enough. Like, actually, there's a card we could play as Daily Quest. Daily Quest, from what I remember playing in these sort of decks, was not bad. You have to show them it's there, but then they have to interact with your ice, and your ice is tag-based. So, like, if public access or regoliths aren't what we want, we could try Daily Quest. It's also really good into purging. Like, if we purge into Daily Quest, it means our turn is not just totally useless. And that's been the issue. Like, there's been a couple turns where we don't have Cohort. and we don't have a public access plaza where purging feels very expensive. But if you purge while your board state is pushing it forward, I feel okay about it. Hey, Solomon. All right, Arsana, interesting. Okay, so, I mean, cool. Fly Swatter versus VSA in this hand is okay, but we have a fine hand. Yeah, DQ is not bad. It's definitely not bad. It also stays on this server for a long time. Oh, that's even better. Maybe best of luck. Have fun. So this is an actual face check. So we can put the Regolith, and then we'd want an agenda or B behind the Fly Swatter. I don't want to ice up centrals if we get like, I don't know whether we should be respecting the imaginary illumination on R&D. So new remote, server 1. We'll just put this on the table for now. I guess burner gets us. Does it make sense to turn 2 NBT into 3 remastered to capitalize on the 4-3-2s? It could be. The issue is then we're slots, right? Like slots are a problem. We lose a deck slot. And then also we have more agendas, and agendas are not a great draw. So it's worth something. Definitely transfer Aria. I mean, that's fine. Transfer costs us 1 credit. All right, expensive. We could just Regolith pass. They're going to have explosive money in a couple turns, but this is where like you want to get a Maggie down and make the game a bit miserable. I don't think we need a Regolith here. I think we just want to get more stuff on the table. Yeah, especially because we have a fully op setup. Okay. I mean, Fazarum does deal with it, but we have a B to make this a bit awkward. We probably don't score out the embedded here. We probably Regolith, but if we had a, what's it called? A Revanchula, we might actually score out the embedded. I think we want to wait until we have a click compressed thing. Ooh, Crypto Crash. I saw Game Net on the first run get some credit. Assets blanking on name. Oh, paywall, right? Peach Chance, scary. Obviously, we're weak to deep dive. We haven't had an Oppo yet. We could Fly Swatter the B1001 and then fully operational just for tempo. I think we do. So draw 2. Draw 2. Okay. I mean, cohort's what we want on the table. We have 2 more triggers of this. We haven't found a Freedom, but Freedom actually does something here. Not Freedom, sorry, Flood. But like none of these agendas am I excited to score out, which is like kind of the issue. It's like not most of our agendas are we excited to score out because we're not playing crypto. We can't play off-world office. I think we'll just do this. How many daily cards have there been in Netrunner? Daily quests, daily business show. Oh, it is Transfer Ari. The news now hour is not daily. This is fine. Apparently JNet does this wrong, but it doesn't matter. You're meant to lose the money and then fire Reality Plus. I think we're just going to draw cards here. We have enough money. They hit a Freedom. Okay. We do still have 8 points in hand. And they're going to have explosive money really quickly. So this would be the turn to Crypto Crash if we can. All right, cohort with the, what's it called? The B1000 is really great because it can just get our hand fixed while giving us money. All right, we have Revanchulate, which means scoring out's a bit better. I don't actually think we have to Ice HQ against Arsana. Like eventually, this might not be true. They might be playing Awaken Plant. But they're probably on multiple transfers. It's not an amazing card. Into Reality Plus specifically. So I think we want to ice up the cohort for sure. So we could do... An Oppo here would be so good. Unfortunately, we don't have it. BSN and HQ seems good. I don't think it matters. I think we need to ice this up. Like, transfer is not that good. It's pretty expensive. Like, we lose 1. They have to clear a tag and gain, like, 3, functionally. But we have to ice this up for a couple of reasons. Now we have a flood. That market that makes sense. Revanchula on the table makes sense, too. And then I think we just show the Regolith. Like, it's slightly worse than clicking for a credit, but we're probably going to use it in the future. And now here we can do Revanchula embedded, get counters, hit their credits right before the environmental maybe pops off. I'm not sure. They definitely want to run every turn. And then cohort can give us either the ability to control the hand or not. But like they're lucky to not get oppoed there because if they have to get oppoed while they're on 6 credits with environmental, it forces them in 2 different directions. And Arsana wants to run. Yeah, I don't think we want to put ice on centrals because we can't really stop the deep dive and we are a fully op deck. Like we just want to get cards out of HQ. Okay, so any run, they'll be up 8-9 credits because of the simul chip. The question is, what are they going to face check into? And last click. Oh, not last click. So I'm assuming they've passed priority. This requires a decoder. So if they bypass this, our text will fire. And we could even protect the cohort with the B, but it's fully in our court. It's not my kind of deck, so I have very intuition. Yeah, you like when you play HB combo deck, you almost never ice centrals because you have limited ice and you're so much better if you have more servers. And at the end of the day, like putting a pink here eventually just gets broken for one. So let's see how they deal with this. Probably no matter what, they're going to get a tag because Arsana might not be installing a decoder from hand. The Pichashon can be gone, and Pichashon actually technically like matters against our text. If they trash this, we lose a server and a free advancement, but it turns on Oppo. All right, they're Arsaning. They're going to get a lot of money, so they're going to go for Muse. They get the money first, and then they can install decoder on this. But the problem is this will be trashed. So if they bypass this for one, it's like kind of mixed. Oh, stowaway. Okay, so they're going to get a tag, and it's going to fire its text. So they only gain one on this. They lose one. They pass. We can draw two or gain two. We can choose to end the run for them off the B1001. I think it's right. Wait. We can do this before they pass. When the runner passes, this is when the run's successful. Oh, yeah, we definitely end the run here. Because then they lose these credits too. Yeah. Draw, I reckon, yeah, draw's not bad. Especially because we don't have a what's it called, an Oppo. But yeah, when stowaway is not one passes on successful run, so this does hurt them a fair bit. Yeah. You're right, we have Rego, so... But we can score out the embedded with the cohort and hit 3 credits from them. They want to bounce the stowaway, which is fine, but I think we just want to get on the table. So I think cohort lives. Yeah, I think we just push forward. Mandatory. Yeah. Okay. So cohort, I think we'll flip. So we can get counters on embedded because that can pull the thing that fast advances. Or we can just pull an Oppo. So we'll put the counter on, sorry, on this. Oh, we have a flood. Whoa. Do we tempo a flood here? If we tempo a flood, we get 4 advancements for 2 clicks and 3 credits, which is a good deal. And then we can push the next card. The thing is, like, this costs us 5. No matter what, we're paying 5. I mean, we could use the flood because we get the embedded counters, but I think we want this to win. Oh, interesting. I don't actually know what we do here. But I was saying flood for sure. And then we probably just like regolith twice, or we want to put something in this remote server. Yeah, we'll try it. So we'll flood this. It has a lot of counters. I'll ask for action. Sorry, I should have asked for action. But in theory, we can hit that thing and score all in the same window, so they don't have a time to respond. Now we only have 1 click, 1 credit. The 1 credit problem sucks, so now we probably just do regolith pass, which feels bad. But we're going to get a fully off of embedded. Yeah, otherwise if we go too low, they can contest all this stuff. I think we have to hit the regolith, and then we'll just go get a fully op. Actually, no, we probably just get the next copy of this. They might want to flush HQ, but the next copy flood the market. I don't think we need fully op with this hand. I think we just want to flood the market. Because we can score out any 4-2. If they don't deal with our board. Yeah, let's go for it. And now R&D is not worth anything. Let's see. Let's see. R&D is safe, HQ is not safe. They're going to bounce the stowaway probably. They only have 6 credits, but they have 2 more on Urban. Oiler's nice, so they can deal with the VSA. Spin first? I don't think... Oh, you're right. They could force a spin out. It's expensive for them, but I don't think I care that much. If I don't want to spin this in aggressively. Okay, so now they break this for free, which is nice. They actually go up credits because this is an Oiler. It's one of the few breakers that doesn't have to boost. So they turned on Oppo. Yeah, I don't think they're going to run Archives this turn. Maybe they do, but then maybe we shouldn't just gone for it, not force the shuffle. Okay, we can cash this check. This costs them 3 and then 3. Sure. Also, if they don't have money, like, Revanchely does protect Archives. So let's see what they do with this one. I wonder if they want to, like, simul chip for their, what's it called? For the Pichashon, just, like, go through this. So now that all their money is gone, because they have to pay 3 on this, and they have to pay 3 on Regolith. We could have had a fully op, which might have been better. Searching for flood signals of agendas. Yeah, I know, but we have a Revanchely. Yeah, so this is just a click for 2, which is kind of fun. In theory here, an Oppo would have been maybe better. Yeah, we don't have the money for the flood too, so I think we either want to go for an Oppo or fully op, so I don't like what we did. I think we could just put Regolith in server 1 and click. They cleared out a bunch of our servers too, so flood wasn't right. So I think here we go for Oppo or fully op. I think we go for Oppo, because we're going to have this. Yep. And I don't We could shuffle first. Hold on. I mean, yeah, we probably do. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so we will pop this just so that they can't force a shuffle, because shuffling all up off the top is good. So put the next big thing. We have one flood the market in hand, one more in deck. Sorry, no more in deck. We have two fully ops on the deck. I think cohort's pretty good here. I think fully opper's pretty good here. I mean, flood is really important because it's our win condition outside of giving them tags, and now we'll go for it. And so I think we'll search for oppo and basically say don't interact this turn. Question mark. They still have to deal with the revanchulate, which they aren't iced up, but like their money is not there. Like this server is no longer that great unless they cycle the Euler, because otherwise they break 2 to gain 2. But breaking this for free is really good. Magnum opus. Okay, they break this for 2 and they can't trash the B. I mean, this is fine. Technically, they break this for free with the, what's it called, from hand. But then they can't deal with the B. I mean, they're trying to find a server. Good for them. Like, they're pressuring us. But this is a bad face check. So they can go through this, but it's going to give us credits and card draw. So they can just let this fire. I don't think they have a better way to break this because it's 3 subroutines for Physarum. Chromatophores into Euler? That's so expensive. They still have to break this for like 3, though. So I guess they're just installing to push themselves forward. Oh, Propeller. Okay, Propeller's still kind of expensive. So this was still a bad face check for them. That last subroutine doesn't matter. All right, so that was a lot of moving parts. We do still have the Regolith. They know we have an oppo. At this point, we just have to put cards on the table. They know we have a flood, but we can't really score out. So what are we doing here? I think we want to do a Spin Doctor and then probably just put an agenda on the table. If they take it, they get punished real big. I just can't give them a next big thing because, or even the freedom is bad because then they win off of a deep dive. So I could see us doing Regolith, Spin Doctor, and then grabbing a fully op. Yeah, they don't have money though. How's the flood deck doing overall based on vibes? Do you think it has legs? It's not bad. It's hard to tell because it's like very early meta and we're playing on, you know, like JNet casual / competitive. There's some really cool lines and we had some really good forks. We had a good game against Ion today. That was really quite fun, but they're like narrow. And I think the biggest thing is that we're very obvious we don't have the right version of this list yet, but it does do powerful things. The agenda suite's the worst part of this though, because like I can't figure out what I want to score. So I think we go for a fully op. We definitely want the Spin Doctor to shuffle back this flood the market after we use it, but we're now threatening flood the market into Magistrate, which is like relevant. Like the thing is like I don't want to score this flood the market, but we have to. Because what else are we doing? The annoying thing about tutoring for an op is that we can't find a 5th ice for flood. You're not wrong. Maybe we get a tag and get a card draw. Echelon, okay. We break Doom Scroll for 2. That's totally fine. Again, they need 3 credits when they run this. So they'll break this for free if they install from hand the Stowaway, which we can res the Spin Doctor and they can trash it if they want. They know we have oppo. So like we're forcing them to play our game. Like if this is an agenda, they can't deal with it. I'm not gonna fire that subroutine. I don't care. So they can get the Stowaway down. They give them 2 credits. We can respond by resing and just say you can trash it. Wow, oppo and fully up. Saying we should be playing more secure and protect. I'm saying we're playing more secure and protect. Yeah. Okay, so we can score out and cut their credits in half. That turns on oppo 7, which with the Regolith we might get there, but money is tight. Like this deck does want off-world office. Oh my god, it does. But I think if we do freedom shipment, we go down to 4 credits. It's still good enough. I mean, I wish this was a crypto actually, but scoring the next big thing would be so much better than scoring this because we have to win off the next big thing. I'm going to say action. In theory, they can respond. But as soon as they we play the, what's it called, the flood, there's no more window. It's hard for them to duck 4 credits here. Okay. Yeah, I'm asking because of Magistrate, not because of Fast Advanced Tech. Okay, we're down to 4 credits. We have a fully op though, so we can bounce back 4 credits. The one thing we could do here is use Spin Doctor to shuffle back one of the flood the markets because we only have 2 in the list. I don't think we want to. I think we just want to get our credits up the next turn. So like, I think the second oppo is probably bad. I don't think they can survive 2 and they still have to deal with this. I don't think we get anything. Like, keeping the top of R&D is safe, but they're going to struggle to interact with the top of R&D. Know anything about, yeah, sorry, I read that. So the Stowaway is good. This is the best that they have, is the 2-credit econ card a turn. I'm not convinced we should be running next big things. And I think this deck probably should be running Powers That Be. Because like returning these cards to the table makes the flood the market even better. So I think if that's the case, we could maybe cut 1 fully operational. I don't know what else our influence is on. It's like 3 fully ops, a cohort. What's the rest of our influence? But like they still need to deal with the table and magistrate, which is quite hard. They haven't shown any asset tech. 9 credits is good. But like in theory, we're threatening his crypto crash. Okay, Stowaway just for 2 credits and a card draw. Not bad. Okay, B is good. We want to find another ice. Oh, wage workers. Yeah, but of course, thank you. So I think we'll start with the wage and server 5. Sorry, the regolith, and then we'll fully op and see what we can draw into ice. Nice. So then we ice up server 6. Before end of turn, we pop the Spin Doctor. We shovel back a flood and probably 2 floods, and then we put on top of R&D. So if they can't deal with 2 of our things this turn, they can lose to fast advance. We're saying that we have agendas in hand though, which is a bit sketchy. They would need a cup or something. And then cup also does beat Oppo. All right, they're doing a magistrate good. That's what they need to do. They break this for only 2 credits and then they trash for 3. So we're trying to do an Oppo fork here, which with next big thing is not amazing. Oh, they break this for free. So they still are going to turn on Oppo. Because they break for 2, gain 2. Okay, Oppo's online. And we have a B1001 iced. So all we need to do is install the next big thing. I mean, this is going to be the thing where like we still somehow end up losing. But the cool thing is like we can do Oppo and grab IP enforcement, right? Like we could lose to a deep dive turn this turn. And if we do, we do. But like what we have to do is we have to get regolith, install the agenda on the table, big Oppo. I think that's it. Oh, that sucks that we took these credits because we emptied a server. That might not be the play. I think we want to keep that server busy. So the regolith costs us 5. I think we do this regolith for credit. Then we might as well just click for credit, I guess, if we're going to consider winning next turn. So then we do 1 credit, next big thing, big Oppo. I think we have enough money to win. We do big Oppo. We gain 2. We're on 4. To win next turn, we need 4 credits on this board state. And then end of turn, we can make sure the top of the deck is safe. Just kidding. We used our embedded. We have 1 more embedded counter here. He says after using 4 embedded counters, we might be in an okay spot. B goes on a table. We already have 1 on the table. Like maybe we need 2 Bs, but like this B is expensive to get down. You're right. They could run this B and then run this. But then we went off of the shipment. Yeah, maybe we should have had this in hand. You're right. Yeah, because there's 1 on the table we're okay. But this now forks between like scoring out the flood or shipment. But the problem is like it's on the table. Yeah, so the B is coming down. So we're going to run this server. So they're probably going to be on game point. They're cycling it to save 2 credits. Yeah, maybe this is wrong. Maybe we should have just put the B here. And because if we could see they were going to do this play, if we put the B here, this is such a big blowout. Yeah, but I think they're going to run this. That being said, we can use this text to draw 4, and they probably can't deep dive this turn. Yeah, I don't mind if we put the B on the table and say you don't have HQ pressure this turn. Oh, this has real text. Fire all? Are you sure? Draw 2, I think, right? Okay. So this draws 4 more. So we just need to find an agenda, and they should have 2 tags here. So they could go R&D and win. They have 1 click. Okay, so we can draw a bunch of cards here and have a chance of winning. We could draw a 3-2. No, we have to draw the last next big thing. What are we doing? We have to draw the last next big thing. If we do, we can't even score it out. Wait, what did we do? Did we just punt it? I forgot that we need the next big thing to win. Draw IP enforcement? Yeah, you're right. Draw an IP enforcement is really good here. Yeah, it's 1 in 17. Imagine we had another embedded counter. We could set up the Oppo into the thing on the top of the deck, which probably was right. So we have a clickless draw 4, and we have a draw 4 button off the fully op. Revanche on the table makes sense. I think we'll do this. Okay. So we don't have the tag punishment. We have shipment into embedded, which costs us 1 credit. It gets it out of the game. But unfortunately, we didn't draw into our IP enforcement, which is somewhere. Yikes. What could we possibly do here? We can't install a flood. I think we put the B in server 4, we would won the game. So that was way better if we just installed B and said, like, this looks like the thing, and I think you're going to float tags. This turn, they could clear 4 tags, which means this is our window to do something. If we had a bigger picture, we could maybe flush their money, which would be kind of interesting with magistrates. A magistrate on the table doesn't probably matter enough unless they clear 4 tags. We still have 1 more B, though, so we could push an agenda in B and say, do it. The problem is, like, the Doom Scrolls are not doing enough. Yeah, IP would have won the game. Would it? IP for the next big thing? And then we shipment it. Yeah, you're right. IP would have won the game. But we needed to draw it exactly here. I think actually we shouldn't have next big thing. We should have fully opted because we could have drawn 6. Because this is a click for 6. This is a click for 4. I think the click for 6 was better. Yeah, the fully op in hand was better, I think. Because also as soon as we drew it, we could start clicking for credits. I don't want to shuffle any of these cards back. All right, so we need B, small oppo, small oppo. What is this, Witchcraft? Hoffman, how's it going? During the day we run? Yeah, we've been streaming on Tuesdays for like 2 months now. I think you've been to those streams. Yeah, this is hard. Deep dive, we lose the game very consistently. So I don't think we need 2 floods. We just want to keep the density in R&D slightly higher. I don't think we need 2 fully ops. We could still fully op and like potentially get a IP enforcement. We could score the embedded and shuffle back. There's only 1 more spin doctor. But we could just do install. I don't know. That's not that good. Lamplighter is not good because they break it for 2 or 1. Starlit Knight is at least interesting, but they break it for 7. I wonder if top downs are the more over flop for the deck overall. They could be. I think the deck has an econ issue though. So like fully operation's really good for that. But like we're also not even playing like Planogram is comparable to this card here. Yikes. I think that's it. Okay, so we have 7 cards. We can do 2 installs. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here. Starlit Knight is good now. I mean, with Echelon, it's just like break for 7. It's not awful, but we can't even res it. They can't Fazarum it easily. They could hush it though. I mean, B is really good. This server costs them 2 to break. Doomscroll costs them 2. I mean, they're all kind of comparable. We could just do B1000 Revanche and say like, you have to deal with this. Go. I don't know. I've not been around. How Doomer is Mr. Weltrell feeling about R+? Okay. I mean, like, I just want to play Vic. It's not been that bad, Tron. I've only played as it, though. So, like, I haven't had to face check into a ping and get upset. Or take Oppo for free. Yeah, closing this game's going to be a bit tricky. At least we've set up a 5-3 off of the top deck, I guess. But Solwyn is going for a Muse, so I think you go for a Cup here and you flush HQ. Which we do lose to that sometimes. Yeah, Vic just seems way more relevant, which is good. Like, there's actually a matchup where you feel happy. If there's going to be more NBN. All right, no stress. So yeah, so I could see us losing to Cup. In theory, we could have shuffled every agenda back. No, you're going to do that. Do that. Sure. So they're going to unmuse. Did they draw off the lily pad? No, they didn't. Yeah, but you want to do that in the right order anyways. Okay. So Magistrate's not worth resing here. We need to keep our credits up, but more importantly, they have 3 credits. They win on a single steal. Yeah, I really don't like these next big things. I think we should be playing more 2-pointers and just on better tempo. Or playing, what's it called? The 1-pointers, the stink tanks, because they're so good in Reality Plus. Okay, 1 and 5. Maybe we get a cup down, but then it discards itself. Oppo, good. Crim in general can slot Underdome and feel a bit better into R+ ping field. I don't know if you would slot Underdome and Reg Crim unless you're playing Baz. I'd be very surprised if you do. Like, I think you'd rather slot no free lunch for the meta in general. Right? Radish, how's it going, by the way? Oh, it's a deep dive. I mean, legit. We'll waste as many clicks as we can. I mean, this could also just be the game here. So we know we're not top decking into it. Does look like they're setting up a deep dive, and we didn't ice centrals. Okay, maybe not, so that's okay. They can't get a click on the runs. Like sometimes icing centrals into deep dive is bad. All right, VSA, they do break this for free, so it's 2 in, 2 out. Finished a huge project at work today, so might finally have some time to play Netrunner and start working late. Hey, that's sick. Hopefully it was a satisfying project, and you're getting all the praise you deserve. You did it well, right? Like you did the project good. We actually could have fopped the B1001 there just to be like, haha, check again. I mean, I think if you saw IP enforcement on top of the deck, you would have trashed it on 11 credits. So I don't think we're going to be top decking into the win. We could still like search with it fully operational. And I think there's a chance that we just do fully operational for draw. For what? Oh, I guess we're trashing it. Yeah, that's fine. Do you think that with R plus unbanned Seb gets worse? No, Seb has not a bad matchup into Reality Plus. It's like weird. It's volatile. I think both sides of the table say they're favored. It's ugly because if your economy doesn't keep up, you're tagged and then a lot of your cards don't matter. But on the upside is you can face check into a ping and install a card on tempo. So it's like, it's cursed on both sides. It's kind of like playing Essa against Thule. Both players have like very good lines into it. So I wouldn't say it's awful. Okay, they turned on Oppo. Not that it super matters. They have a pressure spike. Okay, so they can, doesn't really change much. Why did they install that? I guess it was free. Nothing to res. Top deck is wage workers. Okay, so we could fully op, and if we draw into the thing, we have a huge swing on the table. If we fully operational and find it, we also win. So I think we're just going to draw A tier, half our deck, and hopefully draw it. We're looking for an IP enforcement. Okay. We're also looking for, no, we have no more freedoms. I mean, we could keep drawing. If we find it, we win. Because we do IP enforcement for the next big thing, and then we like shipment it. But if we whiff, it's really bad. Chat, do we go for it? Like here, we could already do install tomorrow's headline, shipment it. I mean, it's not the worst. This deck also could be about greasing, I guess. Seb is good into assets and spam flood. It's inherently good matchup. Yeah, it's not a bad matchup. You have Hannah. You have transfer is not good into the Reality Plus. That's the only thing. You want to harder the cards? I mean, if we hit it, I think we win. We can draw 4 more cards, so we have a 50% chance of winning here. At least winning straight away. But otherwise, we're going to get a lot of pressure on HQ. I mean, we could do embedded with counters and force it next turn. That's probably better, actually. That's safer. So I think we just do embedded with counters. We install embedded, we shipment it. And then we just put the IP enforcement on top of the deck. Oh, but then Salomon can trash it. I mean, we have a B1001. I don't think we're scared of anything here. Yeah, we'll just do what we can here. So we'll install tomorrow's headline server 2. We'll res the Magi, and then we'll just shipment it. Crypto Crash here would have been disgusting. It would be all the credits gone. So we'll do Revanchulate, we'll do headline. We're just going to gain 2. I guess we could draw more cards. Probably it's actually better there to draw cards. Okay. We'll get rid of the trashable, and we'll get rid of that. So we have a B1001, so it's almost impossible for Salwin to make runs unless you start here. Or like you run first and then do this. So at least like we're relatively safe against deep dive. Arsana Tech. So we should be safe into deep dive because there's no way to get clicks running centrals. You could get a click running the doom scroll. But like the magistrate was actually impactful here because if you trash the B, break the doom scroll, you might not have deep dive credits. See what this muse gets actually. That could be credit positive on the urban if it gets a coalescence. Oh yeah, shit, that's good. We'll check after if we kept drawing whether you would have won. Mm-hmm. 3 clicks left. You have to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so random. Not that many points left in the game. Okay, we're alive. Okay, nope.
So you can't deep dive anymore. The best you can do is run B. If you run B, we still win off of Flood embedded. So I think we have a lock here. Unless you can get a... Yeah, I think we win. Oof. We do embedded Flood. Wow. I mean, we got there. HGG. I was scrappy. Let's see if we kept drawing if we would have got it. I was trying to flop into the IP enforcement, but didn't feel like pushing my luck. And this is what I mean about the B1001. It is just such a strong win condition of a card. And if they interact with it, Oppo turns on. It's the way that we can play against a lot of like different pressure. We wouldn't have drawn into it. In fact, IP enforcement is the bottom card of the deck. Okay, good that we didn't commit to that, but IP enforcement was the bottom card of the deck. I think Copulation could have got us. Burner would have been pretty gross. And they took one pot shot on a 1 and 5 on HQ, but R&D didn't have that many agendas left. In fact, there was only 2 agendas left in R&D on 12 cards, so the single access shouldn't be that bad. Yeah, I think maybe. But maybe you get Maggie locked, Magistrate locked. Hard to tell. Yeah. Cool. I mean, it's doing what we want it to do. I still don't know if we have the right like ice or the right like amount of transactional economy. The Regulus seem important. The Magistrate seems important. The Doom Scrolls feel good. At this point in the game now, against an Echelon, they're a lot less good, but I think against most runners, you're breaking this for at least 2+. Hey, thanks for the game. Yeah, I think there's something to this, and I have no doubt someone's going to come up with something really interesting. I still can't tell if playing 3 fully operationals is worth it. It might be the card that you want to draw in the mid game, so you could get away with 2 and more influence on something else. But there's definitely a lot of cards that are competing for slots here. Do we need a misdirection reprint in the next pack? I don't think so. Like the worst case is Oppo. We already have a couple cards in the format that can deal with most of an Oppo. The biggest issue is like big Oppo means you don't really have time to interact unless you float a single tag. But the cool thing, at least for the NBN card pool, is single tag is not game ruining, right? Like single tag is game ruining against Jinteki, but not against NBN. Like there's no good single tag punishment in NBN, I'm pretty sure. Like Retribution might matter against Criminal, maybe against Anarch in the late game, but like you just clear 3 tags, check the table. I think B1001 is the most important card you want to deal with if you want to deal with Oppo, because that's the hard thing to deal with. Because now you can only clear 2 tags, because you have to run B, you have to run the table. But like the answer is Hannah. Hannah is so absurdly good. Neat. I mean, yeah, there might be something to it. There's definitely going to be a lot more tuning and testing for this, but it's also like a deck that not only is the deck going to be interesting and the agenda suite's going to be interesting, how you play it as a corporation gives you a lot of agency. Can't tell you if you need to do all this. And there's also a chance like Flood the Market is not it. Like you could just play Hollow Min and not have to commit to this Flood fully op thing, and then just have more influence for like, you know, Funhouse, Managarm, Amaze Amusements, like stuff like that, and just play Tempo Reality Plus, which was a pretty big thing back many years ago when this was legal. Like I could see that also being totally fine, that you don't have to do this whole package. Like the Flood Markets have been okay, and I think they'd be a lot better if we're not playing the 5-3, because setting up the 5-3 is hard. Setting up a 3-2 easy. Setting up a 4-2 maybe easy. I just can't tell what we want to do because this hasn't had a lot of text. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out, y'all. I think we're going to call it here today. I'm going off to locals. We have a friend in town, so I'm going to go for locals. I've sleeved up Handgoon, which I'm assuming will be the deck list of the week next week. So it's going to be good to get some reps into that. And I'm just playing like a good stuff Fic deck to see if people are playing, you know, Reality Plus and all that. But I'm going to finish this published, have some quick dinner, and then go off to locals. So Endoline is a card that otherwise fell out of favor. I mean, it's not Scorched Earth, right? Like, the chance of this being lethal means your opponent needs to have less than 3 cards in hand, which could happen. Mind you, you can always play Public Trail on the line. You can win games on turn 2. Like, it happens. But, like, if they see this coming, you need to force them to, like, play fast, but also have enough cards in hand, right? Because this removes a tag. Otherwise, if you just played multiple end of lines, you can get there. Yeah. Pretty sure it's correct to play MR and R plus over end of line. I would, if you're going to play something like that, I would say measured response is probably more consistent than end of line. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a chance like you could just play NBN tempo and play like you could play FUD in this list. There's actually a big chance that FUD is better than what we're doing. And then you could play, you know, end of line. You could play Vera. I'm not sure. But like just playing more cards like this that have an impact on the game might be reasonable. Like spend 8 influence on FUTs might be better than 9 influence on fully ops. I don't know. But yeah, just like more cards like this that make the runner have to deal with you is better because they fall into your traps. I don't know. Hey, Optic, thanks so much. With that, I want to give a huge thank you to all these names here and more. It's a 2608 meta, sort of, kind of, not yet, but on JNet it can be, as much as there are some mega cities this weekend. So good luck with some early testing. We'll be back on Thursday, as we normally are, doing, I think we'll probably still play the deck list of the week once, but it is the old meta deck list. It's technically illegal. We'll still do it. All these names here and more support the Metropole Grid. Huge shout out to our daily cast patrons, so we can do this sort of thing where like we hang out on Tuesday afternoons and it makes a fair bit of sense. We're going to be doing more casting. We did some casting this weekend. We'll be doing streaming of the America's Megacity, not here, but on Null Signal Games' YouTube and Twitch channel. So you can look forward to that. But again, all this stuff would not happen without the support, and I'm so grateful. If you want to go, beyond just leaving a like on the video, which is also incredibly appreciated. If you want to hit us up on Patreon to support the channel, you can find a link in the description, and any contribution is incredibly appreciated. With that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully things are well, and the new meta, hopefully it sits well for you. The fact that ID says Tags wants to play MR over End of Line is a thing. I mean, yes, but End of Line is like not a good enough win condition unless you put multiple slots. Unfortunately, measured response for a single slot is that easy to have an extra win condition in your deck, but End of Line usually isn't a single win condition. I mean, it could be, but like the single NBN tag punishment cards are a bit more consistent, it feels. With that, we'll catch you on Thursday. Thanks for watching. See you later.